It is you that I'm thinking of when we're apart. You're my searchlight when I'm in the dark. It is true. I'd give it all, I'd give my heart. You're my searchlight when I'm in the dark, when I'm in the dark.
Welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Gamepan's Esports Arena. It's time for our Week 6 Rocket League Rumble. This week we have a standalone bracket featuring 5 Esports Tower teams, all gunning to be the final champion of our spring season. I'm your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk to call all the action is Joe Tacky Chigbrow. All right, Joe, so before we jump into, our final games here to go close out the spring season, do you have any advice for these players one last time?
Honestly, at this point, just try to focus on the game at hand. Don't really worry too much about necessarily the way it ends up. Just kind of focus on the game, try to make every play into bite-sized memories, and then just move from there.
All right, well, that is going to be our advice here from the desk, but let's give you a quick reminder about how the Esports Tower actually works out as a whole. For this event in particular, for Rocket League, it is 3v3 soccer, best of 5, single elimination, and golden goal in sudden death if we hit that point. If we do, I will be very excited. And as far as the teams go that'll be participating and following these rules this week for the Esports Tower talent stable of players that we have, in total, there will be 5 teams, and they will be the Esports Tower Lions, the Spiders, the Vipers, the Swerve, and the Gators. We'll be able to actually pull up that bracket here for everyone watching in just a moment. Here it is. You can also see the Vipers and the Gators get a bye for their first games, so no matter what, they are moving into our semifinals. The Swerve also will be advancing into the semifinals immediately. The first teams that actually have to face an elimination round are going to be our Lions and the Spiders, so best of luck to both of you guys. And before we jump into this final series in total, we want to give a quick reminder to all of our friends on Twitch, and that's going to be support your teams, celebrate the successes, and be respectful to the other fans. Mods will remove anyone who violates these chat rules, so make sure that you're following them, please. We do kindly ask. All right, so my words of advice in general are going to be, make sure your rotations are solid. Keep the communication lines open. We can definitely tell when you guys aren't calming and telling one another what you're planning to do or when you're going after a ball. And definitely make sure you're doing everything with a purpose, because just firing a ball down the lane doesn't end up to be the best thing in most situations. If anything, we're just going to end up with volleyball back and forth. So let's hope to see if we can avoid that. So in all, that is our keys from the desk between Joe and myself. However, we have some important keys that come from the one and only Doc Haskell for Rocket League, presented by Esports Tower. And those are create the mistakes, punish overcommits, play the walls better, and demo in the goal. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So our first matchup of the day, as I alluded to, is going to be between the Lions and the Spiders. Best of luck to both of you guys. This is your moment to shine before we close out the spring series. Of course, we will be going into summer, but nonetheless, you want to finish with a bang before we jump into the pool to cool off for the summertime. So good luck to both of you teams. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I want this to go a full 5-game series. I don't know about you, Joe. Hopefully you're in the same boat I am. But that's my hope. Sorry if it exhausts you guys, because some of you might end up going one of you is going to end up going all the way to the grand finals. So if you gas yourself too early, pun intended, I am very sorry.
And as we get ready for the Lions and the Spiders, I think it's important to remember that no matter what happens in these games, these are both extremely talented teams. We've seen the Spiders and the Lions both have their fair share of pop-offs just in this series alone, let alone today's grand championship day.
And we do not see an immediate goal off kickoff. Always a good sign. It looks like right now the Spiders are looking to dig this ball out of their back third. Ball gets popped up, bounces off the ceiling. Cran is going to volley it back into the corner. Free Ink is looking to dig this one out. Can't quite do so as Desi dunks it down in front of the goal. Redirected towards the mid. Cran is forced to chase it back all the way to the back third of the Lions side of the field, grabbing it off that back wall.
Hex Gamer will try to be in the way and stop the push down, but the Mythical King will be able to push it down a little bit further. A pass from Cran will create an opportunity for the King to pass off the backboard, but 2 defenders up, no one in the way. Dez is able to take the shot, unable to find the back net, but Cran cleans it up, and the Lions will be the first ones to come out with the lead.
We have 4 minutes and 21 seconds still left on the clock. Plenty of time for the Spiders to bring this one back in their favor. Typically, though, the story that gets told is whomever scores the first 2 goals back-to-back and goes up by 2 will end up winning out the series. So let's hope the Spiders can start pulling this back in their favor. Free Ink goes to return it across the field. Cran jumps in that passing lane, stealing the ball away, finding a goal for themselves, and that is goal number 2 for the Lions.
A shot to the high corner will find the back of the net, no one in the way, and a well-punished attempt from the Lions. Now they have to play a little defense of their own, otherwise give up the 2-goal lead. So Dez will receive the pass from Cran and push it downfield. Ultimately is blocked by Free Ink, and the pass will go mid straight to Mythical King anyway. Unable to hit it off the backboards. The pressure will remain on the side of the Lions as they pop it up looking for a pass mid. Dez takes the shot but is unable to make contact, and now Lions are having to rotate back.
We have the ball volleyed to the back corner on the Spider side of the field. Dez goes for a shot. The defense can't get a touch on it. Rolls right into that net. Lions now up by 3. 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. That gives you roughly a minute 12 seconds to find 1 goal for the Spiders to equalize this before the end of the round. Plenty of time, but their defense needs to become more solid. They need to dig these balls out of the back of their side of the field. Lions find goal number 4.
Lions coming out extremely pressuring in this first game. We'll have to see if that pressure translates to anything else in this series or if this is just how they're going to be for the rest of the day. Cran is almost forcing one in all on his own, so Dez has to respond to the defensive play. Takes the shot himself, is unable to find it. A bump on the Hex Gamer could slow down the defensive pressure, but instead Deagle Slayer is able to get across the other end of the field. Challenged by Cran, gets the flip reset anyway, but is ultimately thwarted by Dez.
That clear from Dez is stopped by Free Ink, who has a challenge from the Mythical. I can't pronounce the rest of your name, I apologize. Hex Gamer tries to volley it into the midfield. Deagle Gamer gets there a little bit late, so the defensive rotations have already come out from the Lions. Desi pulling it off the wall, pushes it forward, has Cran there. Cran pops it over Free Ink. Ball is then with Mythical. Desi sends it back to Cran. It looks like they're taking their time to try to set up the perfect shot on goal for themselves, elevating into the midfield, dunking the ball down. Unfortunately for them, Hex Gamer will get a touch on it. Deagle Slayer doesn't rotate forward fast enough. Cran off the backboard, has Mythical to follow it up. Desi is there for the tertiary, hits the corner. Desi with the secondary, and with that, Lions find goal number 5.
A double tap flipper set off of the backboard. What a beautiful replay that would have been. A crazy shot from the Lions here, working together. 3 shots off the backboard to set it up for Dez. An excellent play all around. And now Dez is looking for another clip as he passes it from the ceiling to Cran, but is ultimately thwarted by Deagle Slayer. Now Deagle Slayer's looking for his own pass mid, is unable to connect, so Hex Gamer will have to play around slowly. He gets demoed though, so Deagle Slayer has to be in the way again, but is thwarted by Dez, and the pressure converts.
Dez pushing forward with that ball has Cran. Hexgamer elevates, gets a minor touch on it. Ball goes off the crossbar. Now at the mid, Dez looking to volley this ball right back to the Spider side of the field. Takes the secondary touch on it. Hexgamer finds the save, leaving it for free. Ink to play it up the field off the wall. Has to play it around too. The Mythical King does get a touch on it, but the ball still is on the back third of the Lions side of the field. Gets cleared by Dez to the mid. Can Dez maintain possession, although Deagle Slayer's putting pressure on them? Deagle gets it off that back wall, looking to send it to Free Ink. Deagle will stay alive, but Free Ink does get demoed. They respawn just in time to be right here in the action in the corner.
A lot of fighting in this corner. Who's going to get control of play? Who's going to get pressure first? Dez is determined to get that pressure, and a demo onto the Spiders could open up an opportunity, but Cran ends up having to pass back, and they have to reset altogether. Mythical King will be in the way, but is unable to make good contact. Oh, almost an opportunity for the Spiders, but ultimately thwarted by the 50-50 with Dez. Now Hex Gamer looking for a pass of his own off the backboard, is unable to find it, and Deagle Slayer will have to slow down the play.
Deagle Slayer dunks the ball down, leaves it for Free Ink to push forward. Free Ink has the challenge coming out from Dez. Cran takes the opportunity to swoop in, get possession of this ball, playing it into the corner off the wall. Does take a few too many touches. Dez disrupts it as well, so a little player-on-player and teammate aggression happening there. Hex Gamer with possession passes it to Free Ink, but Deagle Slayer gets in there first. Ball is popped up at the mid. Dez goes for the challenge with Deagle Slayer hot on their tires. Deagle Slayer manages to get a pass back to Free Ink, who's going to play it to the back wall and dunk it down.
Now Lions having to play defense. A good shot might find a way in, and Deagle Slayer will be the one that opens up the hole for the Spiders for the first time in this game. And honestly, at this point, they just need to keep on finding those mistakes and try to convert it maybe into the next game, because 4 goals in 30 seconds is going to be really hard to do. And the pressure from Lions, they're still really determined to not give up this lead game.
With 20 seconds left, honestly, let's hope that the Spiders are using this as an opportunity to reset their mentals already, just looking to not let any more goals get scored, focus on your rotations and keeping your gameplay clean. Those core mechanics can come and play through in spades in future games, because there is still 4 more if they can pull this one back in their favor in the next in the next 5 minutes in the next game.
Deagle Slayer looking for a pass out mid to Free Ink, is unable to get there in time, and it'll drop down. Unable to keep the ball up, it will prevent them from finding a second goal in the series, but overall, it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. It's nice that they scored that last goal right at the end there to kind of keep the momentum pushed in their direction going into this game too.
Yeah, morality goals definitely can help out, and it's a common trend here in Esports Tower that we do see the first game not be a true telling of how the entire series will go. Reverse sweeps happen even as well, so we could see this go a full game series no matter what. Right now, still looking at a best of 5, so to speak. Lions looking to put themselves into match point by winning game number 2. Let's see if they can do that, or if the Spiders start the momentum swing in their favor. Right off of kickoff, we do also want to mention that the colors are swapped. Spiders are now in orange, Lions are in blue, though our scoreboard will not update those colors. Gotta love Bacchus Mod being a little bit finicky sometimes, but it does happen, so the Lions will score goal number 1.
Great shot by Dez. A really fast play all around by the Lions will keep them well in the lead starting into this next game, but still a lot of time left in this game and the series as a whole. As you mentioned, Artie, these Esports Towers players love their clutches.
And they have plenty of time left to find that for themselves. Dez here in the corner has pressure from 2 players. Just the bump from Free Ink allows that clear to happen. Cran, though, elevating over 1, dragging the ball down into the corner. Pass back to Dez, but Dez chooses to rotate back instead, so Cran's forced to do another pass back to them. Dez out of the corner, has an opportunity to send it to Cran. Dunked down by Deagle Slayer over Cran. Secondary touch, though, from the Spiders. Keeps it alive for a few more moments. They are at the midfield. It does look like Deagle Slayer is going to pass it to Free Ink, who's going to send it to the corner on the Lions side of the field.
Dez is taking it across, has a lot of faith, passes to Cran. Cran can now look for a solo play off the wall, beats 1. Maybe goes for the flip reset here. Looks like he's going for the block. Deagle gets it around to him and passes to Mythical King, who will keep the pressure on while Dez looks for a pass of his own off the sidewall. Is unable to get it all the way out mid, but is able to keep pressure long enough for Cran to begin the play. Comes all the way off the ceiling. Oh, and a bump onto his team. A little bit of confusion in the corner, but it will lead to a goal for Dez. And again, Dez being the last man involved in these offensive plays.
Seeing a lot of situations where the Lions are kind of colliding with one another, lack of communication, just showing up a little bit. That can definitely be an Achilles heel, if not in this game, but in the next one, especially when the Spiders start to recognize that, or any of their future opponents who are currently watching this match. So make sure you're keeping those comm lines open and communicating with one another. You do not want to be throwing your own teammate off possession just because you're being too greedy.
pop-up from Hex Gamer will go to Cran, and Cran doubles back to himself, but is blocked by Deagle. Deagle gets the double touch again as well and is able to convert the pressure altogether. Cran is determined to not give up on that play yet, though. Passes it out to Dez, who takes the shot. It's just a little high. The backboard read from Mythical King is not there. There's no one back. Possible breakaway here. Free Ink will take the shot, and that, oh, barely saved by Dez. An opportunity just not able to be capitalized on quite yet for the Spiders.
Got Cran popping the ball up at the midfield. No teammates there to follow it up immediately. Mythical King waits patiently, does get a pop up to Dez, who places it off the back wall. Dunks it down, ends up with Hex Gamer, who sends it to Deagle. Deagle now pushing forward, trying to maintain possession away from Cran. Cran pushes it to the wall to allow Dez to get a touch on it, bringing it right back into the Spiders side of the field on the back third now. Dez looking to center it up to a teammate, pops it up over one, has a shot on goal, taken away by Deagle Slayer.
Mythical King is now up to stop the play, gets control of his own, takes a shot at the net. Is anyone there? Free Ink, and all three Spiders connecting with each other there. A little bit of miscommunication, some panic for sure. Deagle will end up becoming the winner of that 50-50 in demo, and will push it onto the Lions end of the field, but is unable to find a goal quite yet. A pop over Mythical King could spell disaster, but ultimately no one up will mean that the Lions are safe for a little while longer.
The Spiders have plenty of time to bring this one back in their favor. They just need to be a little bit patient, but the Lions find goal number 3, and we actually can see their scoreboard has updated. Those colors are going to be correct for the duration of this game number 2. Now we're going to the kickoff. Dez gets the first touch, sending it into the corner where Free Ink is waiting, but immediately pops up, and Dez is right there. That comes down to making sure you're doing things with a purpose and not just trying to get possession.
Dez going for the double touch, pass out mid, no one there, but Deagle Slayer will finally pop it out. Mythical King keeps pressure well into his own end. Deagle Slayer passes it again. Dez looks for the pass off the wall, but is unable to get it, thwarted by Hex Gamer. Cran goes for the 50-50 and loses it. Another breakaway could spell disaster, but the ball is not quite in the scoring position yet as Dez is able to clear across.
Deagle Slayer in the corner, unfortunately leaves the ball for too long, allowing Dez to get a touch on it. Ball in the corner now. We've got two members of the Spiders there looking for possession. Instead, it's going to be Free Ink pushing it forward to Deagle Slayer. Unfortunately, Deagle can't get a touch on it. Demo comes out onto one of the Spiders. Dez elevating with the ball, carries it into the net. Now it's goal number 4 for the Lions. Spiders can bring this one back in their favor, but they have to score a goal roughly every 15 seconds. So if that is your team, you got to be sending them all of the good mojo you possibly can right now.
Dez scoring his second flip reset of the whole.
Oh, apologies. That is the Spiders who have 4 points right now.
Oh, so the Spiders are well ahead in this series so far. And a complete flip from what we saw the last game, I believe. So now the pressure is all on the Lions to convert and turn this game around.
Ball here in the corner. Cran looking to push forward, has the opportunity. Dez collides with Hex Gamer on the 50-50. Deagle shot on goal is going to be barely not making it across that goal line completely. Gotta love those soccer rolls. Now we've got all 3 members of the Lions grouping up here in this corner. They have the ball still here on the back third of the Spider side of the field. Can they find the opportunity to close it out and find a goal? Or will the Lions turn it back in their favor? Shot goes towards the Lions goal, towards the Spiders goal, and Dez dunks it down and in.
Dez will find a solo play off the corner, off of the backboard, back to himself, and will continue to be a driving force of offensive pressure for the Spiders team. It's up to the Spiders or the Lions now to figure out how to shut him down in game 3.
Very similar story to how we saw that first game go, but, you know, it's okay. It's still a 5-game series. However, we do have a team at match point. Hopefully, we start seeing some rotations that get a little bit cleaner. There was some choppy situations happening as well as players bunching up. You got to have faith in your teammates to be in that defensive position. Allow yourself to be at the midfield. Midfield control is something that we've talked about here on Desk multiple times, and it seems like that is still a struggle for many Esports Tower teams. As we jump into this next game, let's see if those things get cleaned up, as after all, they only get 1 minute between each one of these matches.
Yeah, definitely have to agree. Midfield control is super important in this kind of game, especially when dealing with a player like Dez who likes to take his time with his plays, likes to go for weird solo plays, these flip resets we've seen him go for more than once, and double touches. It's kind of something you have to get control of early with a player like this. So Cran and Dez will work together to work it out now. Dez can look for a pass off the backboard, but is ultimately, oh, he does get around Deagles, gets around the second one. Third defender has to be in the way. A little bit of a push up here, so no response immediately from the Mythical King, so Dez will have to go instead. Misses. Oh, and a weird double commit will lead to a barely saved shot here from the orange half of the field. So Dez will pass out mid, convert to maybe Mythical King, but Cran's in the way instead, takes a weak shot, so it's blocked by Deagle. And now finally Dez has to look for a defensive play off the back wall.
And in case anyone who's watching is saying, Artie, you are wrong, the first thing you said was correct, you are right. The Lions were the ones who have Cran on their team and won out the first round. And the second game, looking to close this out, they are at match point currently. Our colors did get swapped midway through game number 2 and fixed themselves, so we are now correct. And hopefully it'll maintain that correctness the remainder of the series. But at the end of the day, technology is technology. It doesn't always work. We have a double commit coming out from the Lions. Still managing to keep the ball here on the back third, the Spider side of the field. Deagle has no pressure. Hopefully that's communicated to them. They dunk it down to Free Ink. Free Ink has to play it around Cran. Cran gets the better touch on it. Deagle Slayer immediately dunking it back down. Tries to get to Free Ink. Instead has to push forward themselves. Collision between all 3 Spiders members. That's something that needs to be worked on. Calming that. Making sure you're not all going for that ball is very, very important.
The bunch up there could have spelled disaster, but they end up winning 50-50, and it goes out in their favor. And now Cran will have to work his way around all 3 orange defenders. Deagle Slayer will say no sir though and continue to play it around. Dez will have to force it. Dez looks for the double touch, is unable to get it across on the double tap, taps it back to a teammate. Cran takes the shot, it's high, blocked by Hex Gamer. And now the pressure is on, I believe, the Spiders, and has been for the last minute. Ultimately, it will break down in the form of Dez taking another high shot.
The Spiders have been really practicing on making sure their comms are perfected, but sometimes even practice does not make perfect when it's a little too soon. So hopefully they start getting back into the mojo of things here as we wind down into that back half of this game number 3. Cran's going to find goal number 2 for the Lions, but back on the Spiders, they've been working on those communications. Let's start opening up those comms a little bit more and trusting one another, and you can start digging this one back in your favor. Only down 2, still more than half of this game left to go. It could be the time to start the reverse sweep. You just got to get those comms working right.
Still have plenty of time, but Cran and Mythical King are determined to put the nail in the coffin on this series. Dez will pass around, find it, his friendly defender in Mythical King, who will pass up to Cran. A little bit of a double commit there, but they are still in a good spot. Hex Gamer will force them to continue to play defense, but Dez finds the space, finds the way around the defender, takes the first shot of this first volley.
If Cran stopping the ball from even getting to that midfield stripe, 50-50 between them and Free Ink, results in Free Ink winning, forcing Mythical King to come help out. It gets popped up. Deagle Slayer bringing off the back wall. Dez, though, waiting like a spider, snags it, dunking it down over Deagle Slayer. Dez now in front of the goal, plays it into the corner. All 3 members of the Spiders commit to it to stay on the wall. Deagle Slayer ultimately dragging it down, doing a slight turtle move as Dez now pops the ball down onto the ground, leaving it for Mythical King to take a follow-up shot. Free Ink, though, gets a slight clear. Cran tries to stop that from happening. Deagle Slayer with another clear into the corner.
Blocked by Dez will force the orange half to continue to play defense. Dez takes a great shot. Ultimately, it'll pass down to Mythical King, who takes the shot of his own, but is unable to get it around Free Ink, who takes his own shot. A little bit of a turn double commit here from Mythical King and Cran, not quite understanding what each player is doing. A shot from Dez will be thwarted by Deagle Slayer, so now Cran has to take another opportunity off of the mid wall. No person to pass to, however, so he just pops it up, hoping that the defender shows up, and Free Ink will ultimately take it down with him.
Free Ink's going to pop up with possession, has Dez challenge them, stealing it away, dragging the ball down to the back third on the Spider side of the field. Deagle Slayer read it well, pops it back up, pushes too far forward, though, without their team pushing forward as well, so the rotation gets broken down, and the ball will roll in. 1 minute, 4 seconds on the clock. Lions currently up by 3. Look at those saves on Deagle Slayer. Holy cow.
Yeah, it feels like he's been in the way all the time for this Lions offense, and it just goes to show how much side control the Lions have had so far. They've had so much time that they've been able to score 3 goals and also give Deagle Slayer the opportunity to save a total of 7 shots so far.
If you have such a solid defender on your side, trust Deagle Slayer to be in that defender position most of the time unless they call for help, and make sure you're in rotational positions so that you have the opportunity to find the clear from Deagle that's going to happen at the midfield and push forward as we tick down to the last 17 seconds here. Spiders currently up by, I believe it's 5, but I could be wrong, as our scoreboard just decided to go cattywampus. Unfortunately, though, we do have Cran get demoed in the corner. Free Ink is going to push forward, has to beat it around Mythical King. Can do that, but can't get it past Cran.
Dez will get the pop up around the field, looks for another opportunity, takes the shot, no one is home. Dez finds the breakaway all on his own to push this game into an end.
And with that, the Lions are going to be the winners, advancing into our semifinals. They're going to be going up against, I believe, if I remember correctly, the Vipers in that semifinal series. No, the Swerve in the next game, but congratulations to the Lions on this one. And Spiders, I understand you guys are a newer team and you guys are working on honing that roster down as well as your comms. I'm excited to see what you bring to the table when the summer series kicks off here very soon as things begin to heat up. And you know, Tacky, one advantage the Esports Tower gives a lot of these players is the ability to work on their team play, especially Cran being that veteran player for the Lions paid off quite well for them in this first game, and going out at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. You can see how far these teams in total have come since the start of the series and from the start of Esports Tower for some of those players. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates, and I'd like to give a shout out to the coaches, and if you're watching and haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs, you definitely should. It's the fast track to help you rank up. So the Lions now sweep the Spiders out of the way and are now gunning for that Grand Championship title. But first, they have to take down the Swerve in a semifinal match. Can they do it? Will it be another 3-0 sweep? Well, we'll have to wait and see and find out. And as our bracket already mentioned earlier, the Vipers and the Gators both got to sit pretty for a little bit and take it easy for the first round. They will advance immediately into the semifinals match between one another. The Swerve also had a bye, so the Lions, their deficit here might be exhaustion because playing so many games back-to-back can be mentally taxing. Tacky, I'm sure that you've experienced that yourself, so hopefully that's not something we start to see here for the Lions when we jump into match number 2. However, before we get there, everyone here is going to take a quick break. We'll all grab some water. Hopefully the players will take this as an opportunity to stand up and shake things out. Please join us back here in just a few minutes as we jump into our semifinal matches.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Hello, production. It's time for our first semi-final bracket match. The Lions are looking quite strong after their 3-0 sweep against the Spiders, but how will they stack up against the Swerve with their grand final spot on the line? I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me to call all the action is Joe Tacky Chigbrow. So that was a little bit of a shaky start for both teams, I feel like. Koran kept a level head the entire time. They have a lot of veteran experience, but personally, how do you hope the Lions fare in this next game?
Honestly, I feel like they played it's really hard to say a lot of the time when mistakes go unpunished as much as they do. But I think in particular, I think what they just need to focus on is keeping communication up and making sure that they're not colliding. It happened a couple times where it could have been a big possibility that the Spiders were able to run away with it. It didn't quite end up working out that way, but I feel like if they just play solid Rocket League, if they focus on just communicating to each other in an orderly fashion, then Dez and the rest of them will pop off.
All right, well, let's see if that continues to ring true in the next game. Before we get there, we want to give some quick congratulations to all of our Esports Tower Club members from Esports Tower who have been offered scholarships across the country. All of these over the last 3 months, the Esports Tower Club members have received over $1.6 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more proud to see the opportunities these players are getting. Congratulations to each and every single one of you. If you end up playing one of our teams in the future, please let us know. If you change your name, we definitely want to give you a shout out because it's amazing to see how far you've come and how far you will go from here on out. All right, so we kind of alluded to it. Our keys to advice definitely are, you gotta play clean.
Yeah.
You need to keep your communications open and definitely in those comms, talk to one another, make sure you have faith in your teammates to get those back rotations, have someone on defense, and don't be pushing your own teammate out of the way. It does not look good on camera either. That's our keys of advice here from the desk for our going into our first semifinal match. But, of course, we have genuine keys of advice for everyone that is watching and the players in particular for Rocket League, presented today by Esports Tower. And those keys to the game in Rocket League are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo in the goal. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. All right, so let's get ready to kick off our semifinals between the Lions and the Swerve. Who's going to make it into the grand finals? Will the exhaustion from having to play 3 games early on for the Lions be the chink in their armor early on? Will the double commits get punished here? We'll have to wait and see and find out as the kickoff has gone. Dez is already forced onto the back third on their own side of the field. Lions find the clear, taken away by Sicko TV immediately as the ball gets dunked down by Mythical King. Cran goes for the 50-50 challenge between them and Toke. Ball still not cleared. Dez finally finds it across the midfield to the back third of the Swerve side.
Dez cutting a hole in the Swerve offense. Will find an opportunity here for the Lions. Takes the flick off the backboard to try to pass mid. Goes for another one. Does beat all the defenders. Cran will take the touch from the backboard, but is unable to find the back of the net. Sketch with the big clear. Blocked by Dez. And will keep the pressure for a time being, but no one there to respond. Dez has all the time in the world. Sicko TV will finally get in the way. And Toke will miss. Cran can take the shot. Oh, a disaster struck. A punished whiff will put the Lions ahead in this series so far.
Took about 42 seconds for the Lions to find that first goal, but we mentioned it earlier, the Lions are not a perfect team. It's hard to judge off a first game. However, some insider information from the coaches is that they sometimes overcommit on goal-scoring opportunities, and that can be a severe weakness that the Swerve are ready to punish. Let's see if they're able to do that. Ball is currently on the Lions side of the field. Dez finds the clear at the midfield. Cran looking to be there for a follow-up opportunity. Sketch, though, sends it to Sicko, who's going to pop it up over one. Toke rotating forward to be ready at the midfield. Sketch shot on goal. Secondary touch from Sicko, saved by Cran. Toke pushing forward, trying to keep this opportunity alive.
Dez will ultimately push against the wall. Sicko TV will keep the pressure on. Cran has to play defense. Gets a good clear out. Buys a lot of time. Toke will keep it on their side, but Mythical King is able to respond in a timely fashion, but ends up leaving it for Cran, who gets the 50-50 off the Mythical King. Is barely unable to make contact, so Dez will take it downfield, look for the dribble play. Cran can look for the backboard here now as Drow's sketch up, and he goes for the dunk, and he gets it down and underneath the defender, finding the back of the net. A well-placed play by the Lions.
Still 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for the Swerve to equalize this out back in their favor. Sicko off the kickoff from Dez is going to corral this ball in the corner, bring it down to themselves. Cran, though, stalls out intentionally to force them off the ball. Sketch plays it around Dez, takes a shot on goal. Cran finds the save. Toke elevates to try and stop that clear. Has to have Sicko help them out a little bit. Toke and Sicko both rotating back as Sketch dunks the ball down at the mid. Sicko coming in, trying to get possession. The 50-50 stalling out here at the midfield. Toke popping it up again.
Cran with a bang downfield will convert. Dez is able to get in the way and takes a shot of his own, but Sicko TV will be in the way. Sketch and Sicko TV both in the air right now. A little bit of miscommunication, but Dez is able to clear out and relieve the pressure instantly. Might go for the shot here. Instead goes for the backboard. Leaves the boost. Oh, and Cran is able to punish another whiff from the Swerve, putting them up 3-0.
Sketch, we all saw that, but it happens. Had you been there, had you not been there, it would have gone in, and you being there, you kind of just gave the ball a little bit of extra momentum. It's okay. We won't hold it against you. Everybody does it. Right now, Lions are now up by 4. We are in the back half of game number 1 between the Lions and the Swerve. Plenty of time for the Swerve to find 4 goals, but the question is, can they find those goals?
The biggest thing haunting the Swerve right now is their consistency and their ability to hit the ball with the right amount of speed, the right weight, and it just seems like that's something that we don't see a whole lot out of them, so I would expect a completely different game coming into game 2 of this series. But so far, the Lions have done a really good job of continuing to keep their pressure up and their offensive prowess in the face of the Swerve.
Toke is going to find goal number 1 for the Swerve. 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. They have to find 3 more. I know they can do it if they start facilitating one another. Awkward dead ball at the midfield off kickoff as two members, one from each side, collide on it. Stalls out. Cran now on the back third has to leave that ball as Toke now off the back wall dunks it down. Dez is going to capitalize on the unfortunate miss from the teammate, bringing the Lions score up to 5.
A risky clear in front of his own net will not go the direction he had expected. Dez will capitalize on the bad play, finding the back of the net again, pushing it to 5-1, but the Swerve want that 3-goal differential back, finding the back of the net again, working together off a passing play, will keep themselves well within this game, but still at a bit of a deficit.
We have 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. This is just game number 1 in a best-of-5 series, so it's okay if the Swerve take this as an opportunity to be analytical. They only have to close a 3-goal gap, though. It's very doable. That's roughly 1 every 30 seconds. Sicko gets a great pop-up at the midfield, has no pressure, passes it back to Toke. Unfortunately, can't find the momentum in time as Dez finds it already back to the Swerve side of the field. Sketch will elevate, looking to dunk it down over Mythical King. They do, but Cran in that passing lane keeps this opportunity and the momentum alive for the Lions here on the back third of the Swerve side of the field.
Cran gets a shot, blocked by Sketch. Toke will be in the way. Oh, Demo will come out, relieving pressure, allowing Toke to push up the field as much as he wants. Cran has to go for the backwards touch to stay on pressure, and now he plays it around 1, doesn't get past the second one. Dez is going for the aerial to block Sicko TV. It does get a good 50-50, but Toke will remain in control. 50-50 will force Toke to give up the ball, however, and now the ball is back to being played in the corner. Dez knows exactly what to do with it. He goes with an air dribble right outside of it, and Cran will cut him off, finding the opportunity passed.
Cran leaves the ball for Dez. Unfortunately for them, though, Toke got in that passing lane, sending it to the back third of the Lions side of the field. Sicko tries to find a back pass to Toke. Toke does get a touch on it. It's popped up. Dez is going to elevate, though, and get the possession. Playing it off the wall, sending it to Cran, but Cran took too long. Sketch pushing forward, ball off the backboard. Demolition onto one of the Lions, and that's goal number 3 for the Swerve. 21 seconds on the clock. We've seen 4 goals in 30 seconds before. It is doable. They can find these 2. Let's hope they can so they can start slowing down the Lions' momentum a little bit and their aggression, but there might be another goal here quickly for the Lions.
Bit of a double commit from the Lions, almost made another opportunity for the Swerve, and we have seen a completely different second half of this game as the Swerve have gotten a little bit more control of the play, but now they are stuck in a position where they have to win this next game or be forced into match point.
The ball will hit the ground, and with that, we'll close out game number 1 with a 5-3 scoreboard. Not quite the easy situation the Lions had got to deal with in the first series they were in, but definitely showing that the Swerve are here to play. They found the cracks in the armor. They were able to get a few goals in. Will they have the ability to bring this one back in their favor and win out game 2? Or are the Lions going to put themselves at match point? Honestly, I feel like there was a lot of great plays coming out from both teams, and capitalizing on the mistakes that the Lions were doing was something that the Swerve are very comfortable with accomplishing. Let's see if they can do that again in game number 2, and let's see if they can come out on top of this one.
definitely the momentum is in the favor of the Swerve right now, but we've seen time and time again this Lions offense prove to be just far too much for no matter what team they play against, but they're going to have to work together a little bit more as the Swerve are really determined to make sure that they stay in this series.
The Swerve actually have taken a few rumbles off to reset and get back in top form. Sometimes resting is very important for your mental and gaming abilities, so way to recognize the need for that break. Let's see if that break will pay off for them and allow them to claim an opportunity to go into the grand finals. But right now, Cran, that veteran for the Lions, finding a first goal for themselves in 29 seconds.
There was a defender in the net, but he wasn't able to quite get there in time, or maybe he didn't expect the shot to go the way it did. But ultimately, the Lions will pull ahead in this series, and now put on defense. An opportunity by Toke.
Yes!
All three defenders unable to get in the way. It looked like they bunched up in the corner and were unable to get in the way of the momentum of the ball. A bad miscommunication will lead to a goal for the Swerve and an equalization. Oh, and for the first time in this series, the Swerve will pull ahead. Now, the Lions are put on the back foot, I think, for the first time today, which will give them a breath of fresh air for sure, but the Swerve are definitely feeling the momentum.
While Cran is a very experienced esports tower player, Toge may not have as many rumbles under their belt, but they are definitely a force to reckon with. They are what I would consider one of the esports tower veterans as well at this point, with how much gaming experience they do have and how long we have been able to watch their growth here within esports tower. They're going to corral the ball here in the corner, but unfortunately it's going to be volleyed right back. We have a double commit between Swerve members, but it's not punished immediately. It might, unfortunately though, and it will. Toge elevated to try and stop that ball from going in. We are now at the It's Complicated tied 0-0.
Both teams gunning for the second game. Oh, a miss. Wait, lead to an opportunity, but Toke is thwarted by Cran at the last second. Cran will find a way to get in the way. Now Dez is moving upfield to possibly make a play out of it, but is unable to get contact. So now Sika TV has to keep the pressure on. Is able to get past one, able to get past two, but is unable to put it in the back of the net. Does find the opportunity for Sketch, though, as zero-line defenders are able to make up for the miss from Cran.
That was absolutely perfect. The follow-up and not giving up on a goal-scoring opportunity is important, but also knowing when to get out and reset is also a thing to keep in mind. The Lions sometimes struggle with that. The Swerve haven't seen as much of a problem for them just yet. They are up by one, but there's plenty of Rocket League left in this game number two. We haven't even hit the back half boost, so to speak, which is what the Swerve capitalized on strongly in game number one. Who's going to be the one to really get the opportunity to start pulling ahead here as we tick down to the 3-minute mark?
Sketch almost finds an open net here, but Dez will be in the way. Oh, a bad touch could lead to an opportunity, but Mythical King is able to keep pressure off of them for the time being. Cran and Dez coming out of nowhere to cut off their own teammate. What in the world happened there? An opportunity could form here. Oh, and it is, and I can't blame the Swerve for taking it slow there. They had all the time in the world. I can't know what happened there, but for some reason, Dez and Cran both felt the need to overtake Mythical King, leading to a really easy opportunity for the Swerve. And now the Swerve are well ahead in this game and are able to maybe force an opportunity to go to even a game 5.
I've really been waiting the opportunity to say this. Don't be a ball hog. It's just like regular soccer and basketball. You gotta let your other teammates do their work too. There's two other people on that field with you. We've got Cran now pushing forward. The ball off the 50-50 is gonna hit the ceiling. Cran has no pressure on them. Dunks it down to Mythical, but Toke gets in that passing lane. Is gonna have to get it around Mythical King. Mythical will collide with them slightly. Toke makes it past. Can they get it around Dez? They will not. Dez is gonna pop it up, so that secondary follow-up's not gonna be quite as quick for the Swerve, but Sicko TV looks to dunk it down, takes out one, but it will not be capitalized on fast enough by the Swerve.
2 minutes still left in this game. Plenty of time for the Lions to get their act together again, but the time is running out as they miss another opportunity, and Swerve will pull ahead again, a 5-2 deficit for the Lions to handle, and it's very, very similar to what we saw in the last game in reverse order. But at this point, it kind of feels like the Swerve has made the adjustments. They've made contact a lot more consistently. They're working together as a team, and they're finding the mistakes the Lions are making among their triple and double commits and punishing them every single time.
Looking for those opportunities to punish the mistakes, one of Doc's keys to the game. Very important as we see another double commit there between the Lions. Not going to get punished immediately. The clear will not be found as Dez manages to volley this ball to the side of the field. Dez looking for another opportunity, bumps Sketch out of the way. Shot on goal finally as two attackers were closer to the goal than the defenders. Very hard to stop that situation from happening, at least the goal in that situation. Now Lions only down by 2, minute and 24 seconds on the clock.
That's the third time that Dez has gone and successfully gotten the bump on the last man there. It's definitely something Swerve have to look out for in this next game. They have to be calling and making sure they're looking ahead, watching for the Lion offender to look for the bump. But ultimately, so far, it has not been enough for the Lions to really pull ahead in this series. And now they're forced into a spot where in 1 minute they have to score 2 more goals. Mythical King is unable to start that venture, though, as he is bumped out of the way. And now he looks for his own opportunity by passing up to Dez, who will look for the pass mid, or no, looks for his own touch off of Sketch there, but is unable to get it.
Sketch dragging the ball down, looking to get it on a pop off the teammate's hood is unfortunately disrupted. Toke takes a few too many touches and Cran immediately comes swooping in to get possession. And off the demolition, Dez will find goal number 4 for the Lions. We are at 44 seconds. Can they find another goal to equalize this out, or will the Swerve actually give themselves the security goal they need and then just be able to relax for a little bit? We'll have to see.
The Lions are refusing to give this game up. Cran takes an excellent shot. Toke barely gets in the way. An opportunity is still there if they don't get in the way again, but Dez is unable to force it. Cran, maybe with the open net, he does find it. The Lions will take this game to a 5-5-0-0 with only 26 seconds left on the clock. We could see an overtime and a 10-goal game already. This is a very aggressive game. Lots of defense just being shredded on both ends.
Dez now looking to get this ball out of the back third. Sketch is going to disrupt that opportunity. Cran, though, finds it, pushing it forward across that midfield stripe. Toke and it looks like Sicko TV have rotated back, putting pressure on Dez to force them to get rid of possession. Double commit between the Lions members again. Ball ricochets back towards their own goal. Cran makes the save. Dez playing it off the back wall, allows Cran to get it. Double commit from the Swerve. Makes it harder for them to maintain this offensive positioning. And because of that double commit, there wasn't enough defense. Lions find goal number 6 and prevent us from finding overtime.
Heads up play using both of your offenders, one to get the bump and one to get the shot towards the far corner. A really good way to finish off that series, but dang, that was just quite the game for sure. 11 goals scored overall. It felt like defense wasn't even that bad on either team, but it felt like the breakdowns were happening a lot more in midfield. Like in that last one, we saw there was 2 people versus 1. That should never happen.
Gotta make sure you're talking with one another and preventing those situations from happening, because exactly what we just saw will happen time and time again. Double commits leaves open a position on the field, and sometimes it's a secondary defender. Sometimes there's a no defender because of a double commit. We'll have to see if that gets cleaned up here. Lions are currently at match point. Can they do another 3-0 sweep, or will the Swerve begin their own reverse sweep and find their way into our grand finals?
Sketch pushing upfield, maybe able to find the back of the net, gets the 50-50 off Dez. Dez will prevent it with a good 50. Looking for a pass out mid, is unable to get it. Sicko TV will stay in the way. Taps off the back wall, maybe looking for a teammate, is unable to find it. Toke will hit off the mid as well, and Sicko TV will stay up. Maybe time to rotate back out. Sketch will stay in the way, however, and the pressure is still on the Lions, but nothing quite threatening yet.
Ball gets dunked down at the mid where no one is waiting. Dez is going to push forward with it. Shot on goal saved by, I believe that was Sicko TV. No, that was Sketch. Now Sicko off the corner is going to look for an opportunity here. Does get a touch on the ball. Ball is at the midfield. Cran pops it up over Sketch. Can they get it around Toke? Toke gets a touch. Dez is there for the follow-up. Sketch passes it back to Toke. Toke wasn't ready for it, though, so Dez yet again has an opportunity to play it off the back wall to themselves. Cran's going to come in to try and find the secondary touch. Ball is going to slowly sail into the net in that top right corner. Difficult thing to prevent happening when it's in such a beautiful spot.
No defenders in the way. They were all caught flat-footed, and ultimately Cran will be the one to find the back of the net. So now, Swerve have it on their own. They have their work cut out for them. And Cran will have to be the one to block Toke's shot, but is unable to get there. So Mythical King will ultimately miss as well. Death has to swerve around, but is able to get a good 50-50, forcing pressure onto the side of the Swerve half. And the waterfall down will just be right there, set up for Dez.
Lions currently up by 2. They've gone up 2 before and the Swerve brought it back in their favor. Let's see if the Swerve can find 2 goals from themselves right now. Even if this game remains scoreless from here on out until the final moments and we have a buzzer beater, the Lions are sitting in a nice position. However, the Swerve are not afraid to get aggressive. Let's see what they do here in the next 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
tap from Sketch will be blocked a little bit by Mythical King, but is unable to force it all the way out. So the pressure is still on the Lions to play defense, but Dez breaks out, looks for the double touch, is unable to get it. A good block from Sick of TV will force them to play, all the way to the other end before even hitting the ground again. Now Cram will have to play it out of his own corner, but a good pass off the backboard can spell disaster. Blocked, only off the ceiling though, so the shot is there. It is unable to be put into the back of the net, however. Cran takes a banger upfield, maybe to Dez, but it's just a little bit wide. And now Toke is forced to find a way around Dez. Not an easy task for sure, but Sika TV will take a shot off of the midfield and is blocked by Cran.
Sketch, though, is going to take out one of those defenders. Toke's going to go for the challenge. Dez finds the way to get it past two. They're now here on the corner of the Swerve side of the field. They have pressure from Toke as well as Sicko. Ball pushed back towards the mid. Mythical King passes it to Cran. He's going to play it off the wall. They have to get it around two. Can they find the opportunity to do that? They'll lose the ball, unfortunately. Dez tries to keep this opportunity alive for them here in the corner. Plays it around Toki, but Toki did get a slight touch on it to pop it up, allowing Sicko to bring the ball in the air, crossing the midfield stripe, and down to Sketch, and find goal number 1 for the Swerve. That was spicy.
Some excellent teamwork, to say the least, and good communication to not both go for the shot there, but you got to ask the Lions who needs to be in the way of that touch, but they respond anyway. They say, who needs defense when we can just take it the shot after shot after shot, and they keep the lead going into the last half of this game. And now the Swerve are in an eerily similar position to the first game, but if there's anything we saw about that second game, these kind of opportunities are definitely there, and Sika TV was almost ready to give us the opportunity to go to another overtime, but Dez is refusing to give up quite yet.
Ball on the back third to Swerve side of the field. Cran choosing to reset slightly with ball possession, so they're going on their own side of the field. Sicko's going to capitalize on this lack of pressure on their side, allowing the ball to be on the back third of the Lions side at the midfield. Dez has a challenge from Toke. Toke pushes it up to Sicko. He's going to play it off the wall, but they can't get the right angle on it to center it up for a teammate, and a whiff from Sketch. Toke comes forward to be the saving grace, though, finding goal number 2 for the Swerve. Little less than 90 seconds left. Can the Swerve find the equalizer? Can they find 2 more and put themselves in the lead for the remainder of this game, number 3, and prevent the Lions from having another 3-0 sweep? I sure hope so, because I want a 5-game series.
Oh, and an unfortunate 50-50 will just go towards the back corner. A good demo, but then just a poor 50-50 will just go barely the wrong way for the Swerve, so the Lions are up again by 2, but definitely the Swerve aren't out of it yet. They just have their work cut out for them again. Crane goes for the double touch, unable to get it. Dez barely puts it off the diagonal of the crossbar, and now Mythical King is barely outplayed by Sika TV, taking a slow touch, and Crane has to be in the way, is unable to get in the way. Could be an opportunity here. Dez passes out mid, almost a shot. Toke takes the shot, rolls to the backboard, is unable to find anything more from there, so Sketch will hit it to the backboard again, stalling for his teammates to create an opportunity here now. Passing it out mid, Cran will barely get the touch. Sika TV getting the pass out mid again, takes the shot, it bounces off, ricochets off the teammate back end, very similar to that last goal, so we're again at a 1-goal differential here in the last minute of this game.
There's plenty of time for this to still go either way. Multiple goals can be scored in 40 seconds. The question is, who's going to find a goal right now? Can the Swerve find an equalizer? Will we see our first overtime of our final Esports Spring Rumble? I really sure hope so. We have Sketch pushing forward, no pressure on the Mythical will elevate. Sketch pushes it over. Sicko comes in for the tee-off, and that's goal number 4 for the Swerve.
No momentum from Cram will mean that his save kind of sits there for a second, giving Swerve the opportunity to punish it a little bit further, and now the pressure is on. The overtime is coming. The Lions feel the Swerve nipping at their heels, ready to take this game just like they did the last one.
We've got 9 seconds left. Ball is elevated in front of the Swerve's goal. It does get cleared to the side. Ball hits the ground now, and that is going to be it. We'll head into overtime. Sketch is trying to prevent that from happening, but you run the risk of allowing the other team to prevent overtime. Always a risky situation. Ball hits the ground, 0 seconds on the clock. We are at our first overtime of our Spring Rumble final series.
Dez with the pop-up is determined to get out of here as soon as possible. Goes for the flip reset, but is blocked by Toke. A good read all around. Cran will have to be in the way to push it upfield. Is determined to play some offense a little longer. Passes it upfield. Dez is unable to get in the way. Looks like Swerve will be getting out of their end for a moment. Mythical King will block. Cran will pass up mid. No one to respond other than Toke. Oh, Dez does beat. Dez comes out of nowhere. Sika TV now has to play defense. Gets the pop out to his teammate, but Cran will cut anyway. And Mythical King will pass off the wall, maybe to Dez.
Dez now looking for a shot, saved by Sicko TV. Mythical King dunks it down. Dez overdrives it though. Toke finds it clear. It's in the back third of the line side of the field. Dez will pop it up. Unfortunately, their shot on goal will be saved by Sicko, who hits it off the ceiling just a little bit too high and too much momentum. Ball still here in front of the Lions goal. Toke goes for the shot, is blocked and collides with one of the Lions defenders. Toke and Dez battling out for possession. Toke decides to leave that ball. Sketch putting pressure on Dez. Dug out before it crosses that goal line by Sicko. Ball volleyed to the back third of the Lions side of the field.
Dez keeping the play alive. Toke will meet him in the midfield and is able to beat Dez. And now Mythical King has to look for a touch. Has Sketch right on his heels. Toke can look for a shot, but Cran will relieve pressure for a little while longer. Sicko TV is going to go for the pass out mid. Is unable to get it to a teammate, so Dez will cut it in anyway. Dez looks for the touch up to himself. Gets the shot. Oh, an amazing redirect. A tap to himself off the sidewall. Will find the last opportunity necessary to run away with this game.
And with that, the Lions will win another 3-0 sweep, but it by no means was that easy whatsoever. The swerve definitely came to play, showed us what they had to demonstrate, and definitely taking that break paid off. I'm excited to see what you guys bring to the Summer Series, but for now, Lions, congratulations. You guys have just scored a spot in the Grand Finals for our final Rocket League Spring Rumble. However, there is still plenty of Rocket League left to play because we have another semifinal match coming up. And for those of you who are watching, if you want the opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you need to join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land one of those very, very shiny collegiate scholarships. That was absolutely exciting.
Yeah, that was a fun series. I mean, I didn't realize until you mentioned it that was the sweep at that point. It felt like it was so close the entire way through. Any other day, if the swerve were just a little bit more on, then maybe they could have just ran away the same direction and had their own sweep. But you got to hand it to the Lions. They had an excellent offense the entire time. It was a really offense-heavy game. A lot of the goals were decided at the midfield before they even got to the end.
I have heard from some Rocket League players before that, and I quote, "I suck at defense. I just have really good offense. No matter how many goals get scored on me on defense, I always score more goals on offense." So that's how they go about playing it. But I feel like the further up that tower you go with regards to skill level, the harder it is to maintain that kind of I don't have good defense type of mentality. So hopefully that does get worked on. But Lions, nicely done. You've scored a spot into our grand finals. After we take a short break, we'll return and we're going to watch the Vipers and the Gators. Both of these teams got to sit comfortably for the last series, the last set of this bracket, because neither one had to play anybody. They had buys. Will that be something that makes it a little more difficult with whoever advances in the grand finals not being fully warmed up? Well, we'll have to wait and see who wins out this next semifinal game. But before we do that, we'll take a quick break.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style.
And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting.
And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Broadcast the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Arena. It's time for our second semifinals between the Vipers and the Gators. Who is going to join the Lions in the grand finals? I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me on desk is Joe Tacky Chickbrow. All right, so That last series was quite exciting, if I do say so myself. I want to see that again, but I want to see it go the full 5. I love to have like really close games no matter what, but I want close games all the way to the very end. Like, there is no victor decided until that final 25 minutes have elapsed minimum, if there's no overtimes. And so there's little quotations around that 25 and an asterisk.
Yeah.
That's what I want. What are you genuinely hoping to see in this next match, though?
Honestly, I'm hoping to see 0 double commits, which is technically I'm hoping to see nothing. So it doesn't. I'd argue that even doesn't count. However, it feels like double commits are still something that a lot of these teams are working out. So it feels like 0 double commits, clean Rocket League. That would hit the spot right about now.
All right, so we're hoping for clean Rocket League. I feel like that is kind of a given no matter what series we are in, but there's a lot on the line here. This is an opportunity for one of these teams to advance into our final grand finals for the Rocket League Rumble in our spring season. So best of luck to all of you. We have no more keys of advice to give you guys before you jump into this, what could be your last game for the spring series. But of course, the one and only Doc Haskell has some fantastic advice for all of the players that are going to be on that virtual field. And that advice comes in the form of Doc's keys to the game, presented today by Esports Tower. Those keys in particular are create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo into the goal. Doc's keys to the game are presented by esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. It is time for our last grand final spot to be claimed. Who is going to be joining the Lions, who've done back-to-back 3-0 sweeps in 2 games in a row in the grand finals? Well, it's up to the Gators and the Vipers to figure that out and battle it out in the next, what I hope to be 25 minutes between the two of them as we jump into this series.
So automatically, Twiz will keep the pressure on, and Dyer has to be the first one to respond. Esponda, a lot of names so far that we're very familiar with. State, Esponda, and Twiz. Very well-known names here, so it's something that you definitely have to keep in mind when you're playing in these series. Is you have to remember that you are on the same level as these people a lot of the time, and don't get too worried about who's who or whatever. So far, what we're seeing is a lot of clean Rocket League, a lot of midfield play, kind of trying to figure out who is going to come out on top, who is going to have the most pressure in this first half.
We have seen in the past, though, State has done a fantastic job for their team before. As far as the Vipers go, unless these are name changes, we've not seen a lot or any of Kevin and Russell. Interested to see how they play into the mix with Dyer, who is a fantastic offensive player and can rotate to that back post and play defense easily for themselves. Esponda takes a shot on goal. It's going to be popped up and saved by Cabin. Russell is going to follow that up, dunking it down past that midfield stripe into the back third on the Gator side of the field. State stalls out a little bit. Cabin takes the shot. Cabin gets taken out. Dyer now is forced to take this ball to the midfield. Russell is there to help him out, sending the ball back to the Gator side of the field.
Twiz will look for a conclusion to that play, but is unable to get it. Russell will push it back on, and now Gators are still playing defense for a little bit longer. Nothing too threatening yet, but a pass mid was barely blocked by State. Now Russell will have to keep pressure again. Russell doing a good job of just forcing the ball to stay at the Gators' end for as long as possible, giving his team as much opportunities as he can, but so far, Gators' defense has been able to hold strong even against that.
You mentioned it earlier, and that's respecting the team that you're going up against no matter what. And I'm pretty sure the Vipers are fully aware of that as they find goal number 1 for themselves in 45 seconds. But that respect also comes from the fact that if they have done their homework and watched their fellow teammates in Esports Tower, they know that the Gators have won their last 3 series against Esports Tower teams. So will they be able to beat out the Vipers? We'll have to wait and see.
Russell finding the first goal of the series. Pretty textbook goal, finding around a defender, and now Twiz is looking for something similar of his own as he finds past one, but Esponda is unable to find the back of the net on that touch, and now he's going to have to play a little bit of defense, react to that weird bounce, and is able to keep it on their end for a little bit longer. Creates some pressure by bumping Dyer. State will look for the pass off the backboard, is unable to get it because Dyer is in the way. Esponda will have to try to keep pressure, but is ultimately thwarted, and gets forced into bumping it out against his own accord now. Gators are back on defense.
Esponda has possession, bringing this ball across, will end up leaving it, allowing Dyer to actually come swooping in for the Vipers. He's going to play it down in front of the goal. It's taken away by Esponda, who volleys it to the midfield. Cabin playing it off the wall. hoping that a teammate can rotate in, but before one of them can, Twiz is going to pop it up. Dyer will elevate, slight double commit between them and Russell. Unfortunately for them, not being punished, thankfully, immediately by the Gators. Ball is going to be volleyed across that midfield stripe. Twiz sends it right back to Dyer, who's waiting on the wall. The ball at the mid, in the air. Cabin looking for an opportunity, centers it up for a teammate. Russell has a lot of pressure. Ball still here at the midfield.
Pass up, Dyer will go off the backboard to try to stop this play from happening, and he's able to get it past State, so the pressure is still on the Gators to find any offensive pressure at all. Vipers will push it down in front of the net. No one there to respond. Spawn is backwards and has to flip around the ball. Surprising that there was no goal scored there altogether. Twiz will pass upfield, however, is able to get past one or two, but Dyer is going to get the solo play all to himself now.
Dyer in the air has Esponda elevate to boop the ball out of the way. Russell Dog off the back wall is going to send it into the corner. State with possession looks to center it to a teammate, but Cabin State takes that opportunity away. It's going to slow down here. Esponda looking for an opportunity to chip in on that ball. Does manage to get it in front of the Vipers' goal. It's immediately cleared back to the midfield stripe, though, as Dyer pushes forward, and Twiz has a whiff on that 50-50.
Russell will push it past one. Now State has to clear it out. Clears it out to Dyer, however, who takes a shot of his own. Twiz has to be in the way. Does get the clear, even though he was on the back of the net. Now, Cabin looking for an opportunity creation of his own, but Dyer is unable to work with whatever he gives him. Russell gets the touch off the backboard as well. A bump onto the offender could mean that there's nothing here for the Vipers, but they're still able to keep pressure. Dyer plays it around one. A good opportunity for Cabin. There's no one in the way. I think the last man might have went back for boost, I'm unsure, but the Vipers will pull ahead once more in the series.
Currently up by 2. Gators still looking to find their first goal. This is still a best-of-5 series, though, so no matter what, we have plenty of Rocket League left. Vipers, though, playing slow and methodical, which is a breath of fresh air to say, so to speak, compared to what we saw in the past. Gators definitely like to play the momentum games. Let's see if they can start to get that shift in their favor, but they've got 30 seconds to find a first goal and that morality boost for themselves.
There it is. An awesome shot from State will find an open side of the net, pushing them to only a 1-goal differential in the last 20 seconds. A super doable overtime that the Gators could try to find here in this situation, but Russell is determined to keep the pressure on their end for the last 20 seconds of this game anyway.
Esponda elevates to dunk the ball down to Twiz, who pops it up over Cabin. Can they get it around Dyer? With some help from Esponda, they will. We have 6 seconds left on the clock. Dyer looking to push the ball to the midfield. Esponda tries to dunk it down to Twiz and does not get the touch, but Twiz finds it regardless. Ball in the air, no time on the clock, hits the ground from an unfortunate direction from State, and with that, Vipers walk away with the first game win in our best-of-5 series in our semifinals.
Very, very close game. It felt a little bit like the Vipers might have had control for a little while in the first half or so of that game, but definitely towards the end, it felt like there was a lot more back and forth. A lot of defense was played for the Gators. I'd like to see them take that explosiveness that you talked about a little bit earlier and bring that more to the forefront in that first couple minutes. Try to throw them off guard, especially since you kind of prepared them in this first game of not really expecting that. Now let's put all of our pressure and all of our play style on them and just force them out of this first game or the second game.
Definitely forcing the tempo and momentum of a game to be in your favor can throw a team off, especially with the way that the Vipers at least played in that first series. However, we have also seen in Esports Tower where teams will play one way in the first game and then completely flip it around by game 2 and do it again in game number 3. So I'll have to wait and see how the Vipers play out in this one, if they're going to stick with that slow and methodical approach, or if they're going to have to be forced to respond to Gators hitting full throttle here as 3 members of the Vipers kind of bunch up on awkward spawning here in the corner.
Twiz almost finding an opportunity of his own. Russell will get the pass downfield, so State has to keep pressure. Only just gives it away to Dyer, however, so Twiz will... Oh, Twiz unable to make contact, might relieve pressure for a while. 150-50 will go in favor of Twiz again anyway, though. Maybe a shot opportunity here, blocked by Cabin. Unable to find it. Esponda takes his time, is able to look for the shot back to into the net, is able to get it. The defender was playing too far up and not close enough to the net, so was unable to get in the way of Esponda finding the chink in the armor.
That goal was much faster than our first goal in game number 1. Gators are the ones in the lead currently. Different story than what we got to witness earlier. Will the Vipers start to turn this around in their favor using their slow burn strategy that they used in the last game? Or will they have to adjust here quickly as the Gators are looking to be putting on a lot more pressure than we saw earlier? State rotating back, gets a touch on the ball from Dyer's shot, forcing it to the side. State now has to play it around Cabin. It does get volleyed to the opposite side of the field. Esponda has played around 2, pops it up over them. There's no defenders. Unfortunately, the Vipers too far forward can't block the Gators' second goal from finding its way in the net.
Esponda will take a great shot off the sidewall, catching everyone off guard and finding the back of the net, putting the Gators up 2-0 in this series and giving them an opportunity to win back the game from game 1, but Dyer, taking a shot of his own, is determined to find something of his own. Cabin passes it back down to Twiz, who takes the shot off the sidewall. Is unable to follow it himself, so Russell gets in the way. Esponda is thrown off for a little while. 2 defenders up on the sidewall in the corner. This should be a goal-scoring opportunity. Oh, just too slow, unable to get it. Oh, they bump each other. Cabin bumps it. What in the world is happening? I don't know how to cast this. Okay, we're finally out. State is looking for the play off the sidewall. Dyer gets it instead. And now Esponda is forced to find the play back into the corner.
You never want to catch a car accident or a pileup. It's okay. We got Russell putting pressure on, forcing the ball to just be shot forward by the Gators. Ball still here on the Viper side of the field, though. Russell with no pressure on them. It is going to be slowly approaching, though, from State. Ball gets popped up. Twiz TV comes in, sends the ball to State. Off the back wall, is there a tertiary touch? There's not. Russell pushes the ball forward to Dyer. Dyer takes a shot. It hits the crossbar. That ever so steadfast 4th man on the field for the Gators.
Twiz now looking to create an offensive pressure, but ends up giving it to Esponda, who goes for the backboard. State is unable to get a good angle, so he passes it back to Esponda, unable to make contact. So now Russell will slow play it to try to get around Twiz. Is able to get around Twiz off of 50-50, and now can look for a pass. Maybe he shoots it down. Goes for the shot himself, catches everyone off guard. It's almost in. Cabin will finish the shot. A great play all around. Good pressure created by the Vipers in order to keep them in this game.
We had all 3 members of the Gators trying to defend that ball. They kind of just collided with each other, something we saw earlier at the midfield. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Ball down here in front of the Vipers' goal. Shot on goal from Twiz. Won't have enough momentum, but it does find an awkward pinch off from one of the Vipers players, bringing the Gators score up to 3. We are now crossing into the back half of game number 2. Will the Vipers pull this one back in their favor, or will this explosive play stop from the Gators be too much to handle here in game number 2?
Twiz is up to block the play. Esponda has to get in the way now. Oh, he plays it around his own teammate. This could be disaster, but no one there to respond. No one able to get in the way of the Gators' mistake again. Cabin will have to rotate back to play around for his teammate. Instead, State will beat him and look for the pass from back to Twiz, but is unable to get a good touch. Dyer now has a little bit of time to himself, but Twiz will cut him off for a little bit. Russell looks for the pass off the backboard, and Esponda will make sure it gets out. Now Cabin will have to look for a pass out mid or a shot of his own. Is unable to get either, as State will be in the way.
Cabin not giving up just yet, but can't find a touch on the ball. Dyer is going to go out in a burst of smoke. Cabin now playing it off the wall. Does not have that second man to follow them up as quickly as they need. Russell dunking the ball down here by the boost. Pops up, has the opportunity to take a shot. Double commit from the defenders of the Gators. Shot on goal again, hits the crossbar. Immediately volleyed across that midfield stripe. Vipers now rotating back towards their own goal. Dyer finds the opportunity, but Esponda elevates. Cabin dunks the ball down away from Esponda's possession, but ends up getting demoed in the process.
Twiz able to hit around 1. Able to find her way around Cabin, unable to get the next touch, however, so State will take the shot. It will be high, saved by that 4th man. Esponda will look for a pass out mid to his teammate again. State just hits it back against the wall to buy some time. Russell will take that time, though, and run with it as he passes to Cabin, who shoots it down the field. And now the pressure is all on the Gators again, but they're breaking out. The last second, Dyer is able to get in the way and force an opportunity for the Vipers again.
Dyer trying to play it around Twiz, has Cabin to help them out. Twiz putting pressure on Cabin as well, though, getting in front of them, dunking the ball down, but it's right in front of their own goal. Not a situation you want to put your teammates in. Twiz is forced to make the save for themselves, but it's not fast enough. Russell comes in, finding goal number 2 for the Vipers. 42 seconds on the clock, plenty of time for Vipers to find an equalizer for themselves. I really hope they do it, because I want to see another overtime.
Gosh, this series has been so back and forth so far, so close, but ultimately the Gators pulling ahead in this second game as Esponda is looking to continue the pressure, but a double commit being thwarted by Dyer will make it so the pressure is all on Twiz to keep defense, and State and Esponda having to rush back may put them in a bad situation as Dyer looks to keep pressure, but Dyer misses. So Cabin will have to take the shot. Twiz has to be in the way, almost bumped by Dyer, but barely saved at the last moment, so Esponda has to look for the play out mid, ends up taking the shot. Dyer will be in the way, or is cut off by Cabin instead. A little bit of a miscommunication there, so now State has to take the shot.
5 seconds left on the clock. Can the Vipers find that equalizer and force us into overtime, or are the Gators going to be able to say they won game number 2? Demolition ball still in the air. Twiz dunks it down onto the ground using the front of their car, and with that, Gators find their victory in goal number 2, and we are now into a best-of-3 series.
That was a wild series, to say the least. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that are still kind of not being jumped on as fast as they could. For me personally, one of the things that stuck out a lot for the Gators is that they'd like to clear it across their net way more than they should.
Yeah.
Even if it's like semi-safe, it's never the best option.
You're really playing with fire when you're doing that, I feel like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's never something you want to be doing. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're not the ones on the field. We're only the ones casting it. Things are definitely heating up between these two teams. Let's see who's going to pull ahead here and put themselves at match point. As I mentioned, we are a best of 5 series, but with both teams tied 1 for themselves each, it's now a best of 3.
A good touch from Dyer will force Spawn to make an awkward save, but he will find the demo to relieve the pressure for a little while longer. Cabin will beat out here and looks for a pass mid, but is unable to get it. Russell just has to keep hitting it off that back wall. No one winning the corner yet. Just again, off the back wall, off the back wall, off the back wall. No one able to keep pressure, but eventually Gators are able to find a way out.
Ball here in the corner where State decided to abandon the opportunity. Dyer pops it up over State. They have Esponda putting pressure on them, who pops it up as well. We have Cabin elevate to play it around Esponda. Russell tries to come in. State gets there first. The members of the Vipers a little too bunched up. They need to spread out a little bit here. Twiz pushing forward with this ball in the corner. Unfortunately, makes an awkward ricochet. So Esponda is going to come in instead and help them out off the back wall. Ball kind of loses momentum, allowing Dyer to get possession. Can they play it around State? They will. And Dyer now at the midfield with some help from Russell Dog.
Esponda trying to get in the way, can't get around Russell, has to clear it across his own net again. A little bit safer that time around. Twiz has a little bit of time to himself. He can pass it off the wall back to himself. Does have Dyer in the way, but Cabin will cut off anyway. And State barely unable to get a touch, and now the pressure is all on the Gators. Dyer takes a shot anywhere he wants and finds the unoccupied side of the net. It will push them to a 1-0 lead over the Gators in this first 2 minutes.
Took 1 minute and 20 seconds to find that first goal. Once again, Vipers going with their steadfast, tried and true, slow burn play style, making sure those opportunities are borderline perfect. Dyer shot on goal a little bit too wide. Double commit onto the pressure for Russell. Might be enough for the Vipers to keep this opportunity alive. Dyer at the midfield gets in the passing lane, stealing the ball away. Still, Cabin, though, has an opportunity to get it to Dyer. Dyer dunks it down, but Russell doesn't push forward fast enough. Ball now at the midfield in the air, crossing over onto the back third of the Viper side of the field. As Twiz TV elevates into the mid, looking for a shot, but can't find the second touch to finish out that play.
Dyer gets a touch downfield, is unable to get past State, however, who will hit it off the sidewall. An opportunity here as it bounces mid, but State stalls just long enough. Now Esponda has to make the save here. Score. Ooh, the goal is not found in the back of the net, so Dyer will have to play it slow, try to get around Esponda. Is unable to do it. Forces the 50-50 mid. Russell barely getting a touch to force it downfield. And now Twiz has to take possession and slow play it around Cabin.
Now we've got Dyer who plays it around 1. Can they play it around Esponda? Esponda chips the ball back towards the Vipers' goal, but cannot get there quite as fast as they would like. They will be challenged by 2 members of the Vipers at different times, so not quite a double commit. Back pass, though. No one there in time for their own team. Cabin has a possession for a few moments, pushing it to Dyer. Dyer now off the wall. Has an opportunity to center it up to a teammate. Can they find that opportunity fast enough, though? They will not. Russell forced to come in and help them out. Cabin now trying to keep this opportunity alive as the ball gets dunked down by Esponda to State.
State kicking it around Dyer, is unable to beat Russell, however, gets the 50. It will push into the back corner. Twiz gets an unnecessary touch, might be a disaster, but nobody ready for it instead. State can take the shot now, passes it all the way down towards the backboard, takes another touch of his own, is unable to find that chink in the armor in the back post, and now Russell gets to play it around maybe 1, maybe 2 defenders, depending on who's sitting in the corner. Twiz will get the 50-50, however, and win it out.
Twiz now pops the ball up. Esponda and State both elevate to get a touch on it. Dyer has takes 1 touch, and it is going to be in front of their goal right above it. Double pressure being put on one of the defenders for the Vipers. As Esponda dunks the ball down, Dyer gets a touch on it in that passing lane. Cabin putting pressure on Twiz, forcing Twiz to pass the ball to State, who plays it off the wall to keep the ball here on the side of the Vipers, but it does get cleared by Russell.
Twiz will get a touch out. Unable to make anything happen, however, so Dyer gets a lot of time with this ball. Looks like he might go for a solo play. Is blocked by 1 defender. 2 defenders were up, however, so Twiz is on his own. No punish instantly. Oh, a backboard pass. Cabin looks for his own touch, taps it down, but is unable to get it past State. Needed to find a more solid touch there, so Russell will have to be the one that forces the offense to play again. Esponda unable to get in the way of Russell's touch, and now a little bit of a communication error in the corner there, leading to a double commit that got them nowhere for the Gators defense, and the Vipers are keeping the pressure on and forcing them to make every possible save in 50, and eventually the Gators defense will break down in favor of Vipers.
Vipers are doing a very fantastic job maintaining level heads, doing the slow and methodical, pushing and rotating, making sure that they have opportunities to pass to one another, not being overly aggressive when it doesn't call for it. Right now, Dyer has their opportunity to take another shot on goal taken away. State takes a shot, turned away by Russell. Cabin's going to come forward, allowing Russell to rotate back into that defensive positioning. Pushed forward by Dyer, ball crossing the midfield stripe. Dyer's going to take out one of the defenders, allowing Cabin to push forward. Dyer, though, is going to rotate back and get ready to defend against Twiz shot on goal. State takes the shot, but it's unfortunately a little too wide. Sponda with the follow-up finds the Gators' first goal. We've got 13 seconds left on the clock, though.
Still plenty of time, but they have to have kind of the most level heads that they've had so far. It feels like on defense overall there's a lot of panicking, a lot of crossing around net, a lot of double committing. They just need to take a deep breath and focus on what the coaches have been working on with them. And at this point, the time has run out for them. They need to keep it up a little bit longer. State looks for a flick. Only opportunity here. Dyer is able to keep it away and around Twiz and putting it down, forcing them to go to the next game.
With that, Vipers actually put themselves at match point, which is exactly where they wanted to be, though it's still anybody's game. If we do see the Gators win this one out, we're going to be forced into a Game 5, which is what I've been asking for, but that's up to the Gators to actually make my wish come true. Can they? Well, they've got 5 minutes in order to do it. That's a little bit of a tough task. I know it's not a lot of time, but in Rocket League time, it can be a lot of time.
Yeah, it can be, especially when, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure every game has been a one-goal game in the series so far. Yeah, when it's that close, there's still a lot of opportunity for both teams to come away with this. You could get your Game 5 yet, but we'll have to see what the Gators have in store for us. And so far, Esponda is ready to make the change by starting the change with the Roadhog car. But we'll have to see if that affects this game at all, as Twiz also switches to one of my personal favorites. I believe that's Proteus.
We've got Dyer pushing forward. Has to get it past Twiz. They collide with them. Is there a follow-up touch fast enough from a teammate? Russell's shot's going to be a little bit too wide to do anything with or even be counted. Cabin, though, is there for the follow-up. That finds goal number 1 for the Vipers. Very fast in comparison to how quickly they scored other goals. Less than 30 seconds for them that time.
Yes, definitely. The pressure is, wow. So almost a completely whiff, 50-50, then responded to by no one from the Gators, will lead to an instant goal and a 2-0 lead from the Vipers. Not the start you would want if you were the Gators right now.
We've got the Gators now pushing forward. Ball right in front of the goal, just not the right angle, and a whiff from a teammate. Russell now pushing forward, tries to get it past Twiz. Twiz forces that ball back into the back third of the Viper side of the field. Taki is doing a face palm right now. State takes the shot, and it's going to go a little bit too wide. He's face palming yet again.
So close again and again, but you have to be able to end these plays, otherwise you're going to be down 2 goals for the entire game. We could have an almost tied game if they had just hit one of those, but they still are going to have plenty of opportunities if they keep this up. Twiz is in the way, has to pass the State, hits it to the corner anyway. Dyer will get the pass out to Russell, who can take the shot, but whiffs completely. An opportunity almost there for State, but barely thwarted by Dyer. He has to look for the pass off mid to his teammate, is unable to get it as Esponda will lose the 50-50 at the Cabin. Now Cabin looks to the pass out to his teammate, but is unable to get there.
Dyer just waiting patiently here in the corner, sees the opportunity to pass back to Russell as pressure was mounting on them. Russell's going to pop the ball up. Ball has no one going after it right away. Dyer dunks the ball down. It's going to be over State. Cabin's going to touch it, send it to the back wall. It's going to get centered up to Dyer. It's going to pop it up again. It's going to hit the backboard. Can we get a follow-up? We will not. Ball's going to get cleared by Twiz, and there's no defenders. Quickly rushing back. The Vipers overcommitting. Something we've seen but not gotten punished quite yet. Finally does get punished. Gators finding goal number 1 with 3 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock.
A double commit on the kickoff. That's definitely not what you want to see in the semifinals of this series, but not the end of it yet. But 3 minutes left. They have only 3 minutes. Well, I guess that's a lot. They have 3 minutes to score 1 more goal. However, the defense from the Vipers has been pretty good so far, besides that one breakaway. So they're going to have to find a way to work together to break down this defense. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck in this spot for the rest of the game.
Dyer now pushing forward, is going to have the ball taken away by Twiz. Twiz now in the corner, has a shot on goal, turned away by Russell. Takes out one of the defenders, though, to try and make this a little bit easier. Unfortunately, that ball has crossed the midfield stripe. State has a whiff on their attempt to go forward for that ball. Cabin pops up in front of the goal, decides to rotate back as their teammates are still, one teammate has finally respawned, and it looks like Esponda is going to get taken out on their forward push to cross the midfield stripe.
Esponda makes the trade, life for pressure, but ultimately loses out to Dyer anyway, as Twiz will force it back out, only for Cabin to be able to gain control again, but doesn't get enough control that State can't beat him out. Russell takes the shot. Oh, okay. Well, no one back post will result in an awkward angle for the third man, unable to find the save, and the Vipers will now be up 2 goals again.
Still have 2 minutes left on the clock. What could be the final 2 minutes of our semifinal match here if the Gators cannot bring this one back in their favor. State has a shot, can't find the secondary touch though because Russell immediately pushes the ball away to the side. Russell now with some help from Dyer is going to take the shot on goal. It's going to be sent across to the other side of the back third. State now with possession, looking to bring it up off the wall. Has the opportunity to take a couple of seconds. Russell's going to collide with them in mid-flight. Will Twiz be able to get possession here in the corner as a double commit from the Vipers defenders happens? They have State. Do they see State? Do they have the shot? Will they take the shot? They will not. Russell will take it away, and Dyer's going to push forward with the ball.
Twiz will pass across his net, not to State, however, take it over himself, then look for the pass out mid. None of his friendlies there to help him out, so Cabin will take it instead, pass it off the back wall to his own teammate, but Twiz will find a big clear. Stopped by Russell. Again, Russell, that third man, is just unable to let them out of their own end. Finally, Esponda finds a way out for Twiz to be able to respond. Could be an opportunity for a goal here if Cabin doesn't get a good touch. Here it is. A shot from Twiz will find the back of the net, and ultimately, we will be back at that 1 goal differential. The Vipers still have their work cut out for them. They have to confirm this lead in the next minute.
They can do it, but they cannot let Cabin get away with what they just did, which is winning the kickoff heavy-handedly and almost having a secondary touch with no pressure on them as a double commit from the Gators on the initial shot happened immediately. Now State looking to drag this ball down. Took too many touches. Russell capitalized on that slowdown, forcing the ball here into the corner. Twiz now looking for an opportunity to send this ball to Esponda as they're going to have double pressure coming onto them from the Vipers. Cabin, though, is going to back off, allowing Dyer to get possession. Can they play it around State? They cannot.
Twiz will beat around 1. Russell gets the pass out. Twiz is in the way. Dyer has to make a play here, or Twiz will make the touch. Oh my gosh, there could be a pass, and no one is there. Oh, an opportunity just barely thrown in. A bad 50-50 will find the back of the net. Great opportunity there from the Gators, but ultimately weren't able to capitalize on a very good pass all around. And now another opportunity is what they need to be looking for the next 16 seconds.
They've got Dyer with double commit pressure on them here in the back corner. They're going to look to center it up for a teammate. Does look like Russell tried to pop it up to keep this opportunity alive for them. Cabin plays it off the back wall. Dyer's there for the follow-up, but it hits that crossbar. Ball hits the ground. No time on the clock. Vipers win game number 3 and punch their ticket into the grand finals. Congratulations, Vipers. Gators, you guys did a fantastic job, and you have plenty of time before our summer series and during the summer series to just continue to make improvements. But for now, we say goodbye to you, and Vipers, we'll be seeing you at the grand finals. I wish you guys good luck. And if you are wanting the opportunity to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to industry insiders like pro athletes and team general managers and game producers, then you need to join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land one of those sweet, sweet collegiate scholarships. The Vipers have now taken down the Gators and have punched their ticket to go all the way to the top into our grand finals. Will they be able to do it, though? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I think anything can happen a lot of the time, but I honestly, the way we were seeing, I believe, the Lions play, right? It was the Lions. The way we were seeing the Lions play, and especially the way we were seeing Dez play, if that remains true, and if they're able to clean up even the slightest amount of mistakes, it's going to be a really uphill battle for the Vipers. I feel like the Vipers are a very talented team, but what we saw today, the amount of offensive pressure and consistency on the offensive end for them is just something to be scared of, to say the least.
I feel like when we're comparing these two teams, we've got the Vipers, which is this very slow, calculated, methodical type of gameplay, and then we have the Lions, who are the just explosive offensive pressure type of team. But as the coach has mentioned, they tend to overcommit quite a bit. So that's something the Vipers, with their slow play style, might be able to recognize and capitalize on. It is a best-of-5 series, so it could go either way. However, before we get to actually jump into those grand finals, we are going to take a quick break, and hopefully you guys do all as well, and we can all meet back here in just a few minutes.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by.
Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting.
And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style.
And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Fans Esports Arena, and it is finally time for our last grand finals of our spring series. The Lions have not lost a game yet so far tonight. Can they keep a perfect 10-0 and claim the title, or will the Vipers be the first team to slow them down? I'm still your host, Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me to call all of the action is Joe Tacky Chigbrow. And as you just saw for a little flash there, we actually have a little moment here with the one and only Doc Haskell.
Okay, we've had an amazing season so far. This Esports Tower Spring season has been en fuego, on fire. These players have been burning the track down. Okay, enough with the puns. In between the two of you, we have a little challenge for this grand final. It's a Hot Ones grand final. So here's the way it's going to work. We've got some rules for you. We'll show you those wings in a second. They are progressive from warm to blow your socks off. The rules of this are going to be you're gonna pick a team that you're going to follow. They're going to be opposite teams. You're going to be against each other. If your team gets scored on first in a match, you have to eat the lowest level wing you have. If somebody scores more than 5 in a match against your team, the one that you pick, you've got to eat one more. And if your team loses that game, you have to eat one more. If your team loses, you've got the opportunity to switch. But these are good teams. This could go also. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. I am ready for my mouth to
Okay,
die.
Look at those wings right there. I know that they're sitting in the middle. Do not touch them with your fingers. Do not touch them with your fingers. Not at all. You do not want to do that. That's why each of you have a fork. We're going to need some water. Crew's got water for us. They're bringing that water in here right now. Get it up here, and we will keep them coming all day long. Are we ready for this grand final?
Is that? Oh God, Taps is being played in the background.
This could be nuts. Okay, let's get it going.
Oh my!
Thank you so much, Gem Mountain.
Appreciate it. All right, so we are about to have the challenge of a lifetime on desk, and all of these players themselves are about to have a very spicy challenge as well, because they are gunning it for that grand championship final for the final opportunity here within our spring esports tower rumble. But before we jump into that, I know everyone who is watching is probably thinking, hopefully you guys have enough water on desk, or you should have grabbed milk. We understand that that's the keys to advice that everyone would be giving us here. However, for the players, we have special advice coming from the one and only Doc Castle that we just had with us here on the stage. And those keys to the game in Rocket League are create mistakes, punish the overcommit, play the walls better, and demo in the goal. Doc's keys to the game are presented today by esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Lions versus the Spiders. All right, we have to pick our teams.
Spiders isn't the Vipers?
Oh, sorry, Lions and the Vipers. We have to pick our teams. I'm gonna let you pick first.
Oh man, I don't know which end I want to be on of the Lions, because they could either score a lot of goals, which is what they do, or they could score or get scored on a bunch because they overcommit a bunch. So I'm gonna let you pick, because I am very hesitant on this.
Okay, since the Lions like to go with the explosive and spicy gameplay, I'm gonna go with the Lions.
That's fair. Yeah. And we'll see how much I end up regretting giving you that first choice.
All right.
But
you do have the opportunity to swap after the first game,
yeah,
or even after the second game if you want to wait. It's up to you.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I think I'll try to ride or die with the Vipers.
All right, this is the last grand final opportunity to claim that title for the spring season. Who will come out on top? Will the Lions or the Vipers be the ultimate victors? The Lions will have a roster change as well, as Dez is unable to play in this last game. It's going to be Twiz rolling in from the Gators to take his spot. Will that be the missing link that they need in order to come out on top of this one? We do have the ball getting spiked up at the midfield by Cran. Russell is going to act. Sorry, that was Cat. Yes, that was Cran. Now we have Cabin centering it up for a teammate. Dyer can't make it there in time, though.
Vipers will get the first bit of pressure here, but Twiz will force it downfield and try to convert. Cran, however, will not be able to make it happen. And so the Mythical King is forced to find a way out of his end. Cabin is in the way. Oh, bit of a double commit already from Cran and Mythical King, but unable to do anything with it from the Vipers' end, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
We have Dyer and Cran both elevate for the ball. Cran is the victor, but the secondary elevation turns out to be in favor of the Vipers. Dyer now in the corner, has pressure put on them. Cran on their own back third, looking for an opportunity to clear this out. Plays it off the wall, is interrupted by Russell immediately. Now we have Mythical King trying to get a touch on it. Ball bounces over them. They see Cran, but unfortunately they over-rotate, allowing Russell to get a touch. Dyer tries to get a secondary, but Twiz will send the ball across that midfield stripe very slowly.
Cabin will have to keep pressure at the midfield, is unable to keep it there. Mythical King gets a touchdown field. Russell gets all the time he needs in the world. He goes off the ceiling, unable to make quite a touch there, so Cran will beat him out. Cabin is outplayed by Dyer. Oh, a shot opportunity here, and I am biting my tongue, taking the Vipers so far.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's the first one. It's the easiest.
Yeah.
Now we've got Russell pushing forward, looking for an opportunity to take a shot. Dyer is going to take another opportunity. They will not find the back of the net just yet. We've got Mythical King finding that clear. Russell pushing forward, has an opportunity to find the shot on goal. Cran, though, stops that ball from going in, and now with very little pressure on them, can take a few extra touches. They will collide with Dyer. Cabin has the opportunity to push this ball forward. They see Dyer, they send it to Dyer. Dyer centers it up, but the rotation was just not quite fast enough, so Dyer's forced to grab it off their own wall. You okay?
A mega pinch down the end of the field there. Nothing able to come of it so far, but ooh, a good demo from Twiz. Cabin has more than enough opportunity here, but Crane will beat him out. Just barely gives away the ball. Dyer looks for the pass out mid. Is forced by Russell to force an Lions offensive pressure here for a minute, but we'll have to see if they make anything of it. So far, the Lions held to only a 1-0 lead. Is a little bit different than we saw them in their first couple series today. We'll have to see if they have to make any adjustments or if they stick to the normal game plan.
Double commit here in the goal, and 2 collisions back-to-back between defenders there for the Lions was not immediately capitalized on by the Vipers. Now Twiz looking for an opportunity to maintain possession for themselves. He's going to push this ball forward, drag it down. They have Cran. They also are getting pressure put on them. Russell's going to pop it up in front of their own goal on the back third. Dyer now is going to cross that midfield stripe with possession, has the opportunity to take a shot, does not find it though as Twiz takes it away. Cabin now looking for a secondary opportunity. Immediately has pressure put on them from Twiz. Twiz is definitely being putting a lot of aggression on the defensive line. That could be what the Lions need to come out on top of this one.
Plenty of time still for the Vipers to turn this game around. Not even really that far behind yet. Dyer is unable to make contact, however, so Cabin will have to play defense for a little bit. Ends up leaving it for Dyer anyway, as they rotate back, and Cabin will play front post as Dyer attempts to get away out. So far, Dyer goes for the solo play of his own. Tries to pass out mid to Cabin. Cabin is there, but is unable to get a shot. Cran goes for the pinch, is unable to do anything more with it, so gives it to Mythical King. Russell misses an opportunity, could arrive here, so Dyer is up. Barely missed by Twiz. Pass off the wall from Cran. No one is there quite yet, so Russell will have to be in the way and cut it down. A shot opportunity here for the Vipers. He does take it, but is unable to find the back of the net.
There was a double commit, though, from those defenders, and a triple commit even. Cabin has the ball taken away by Cran, who's just constantly playing at Mach 5. Russell's shot on goal is going to be, it will take away the shot on goal. Twiz now pushing forward. Ball is on the back third of the Viper side of the field. Cran looking for an opportunity to find another goal for the Lions. Mythical King will elevate to get it past Dyer with a great dunk. They have pressure being put on them from Cabin, though. Cabin looking for an opportunity to find a touch, can't quite find it. Cran's going to come in and push Cabin out of the way and find goal number 2 for the Lions.
The Lions so far showing why they belong here in this grand finals, keeping the offense up, keeping their defense well underway, so the Vipers are unable to find their hole quite yet, but the opportunity is still there for the Vipers. Only 35 seconds left on this clock, but might have to start thinking about this next series already.
We've got Cabin pushing forward. They can score 2 goals. Whether or not they will be able to, though, is a tough task to ask for. Dyer pushing forward, has the ball popped up. Russell looks to dunk the ball down to Cabin. Almost a double commit, not quite. Cabin now sends the ball over to the mid, immediately taken away by Mythical King. Cran trying to get possession. Overrolls it. Looks like they have pressure from Dyer. Russell's going to pop the ball up. We are now at the 9-second mark. Vipers looking for their first opportunity to find a goal for themselves. Dyer pops the ball up. Cran's going to force it into the corner. 1 second left on the clock. Ball hits the ground, and that's going to be it for game number 1. And I do believe that the Lions just won that game.
I do believe they did as well. We'll have to see how far it jumps between each level. The first one, I gotta be honest with you, it had some heat. Wasn't that bad though. I didn't end up regretting my life as much as I thought it would, but you know, who knows? We can end up at 10 by the end of this and just be on the floor.
That's okay. Are you gonna stay true to your pick with the Vipers here, or are you gonna want to swap them? All right.
Vipers all the way, baby.
You guys have a... Don't
fail me now, guys.
And do not make him suffer too much is really what he's asking. But he's going to stay steadfast and true with you guys, so that goes to show the faith he has in your guys' play style. Lions, don't fail me now. And the water has been broken out. All right, off the kickoff, it looks like Cabin got the better of the touch, and Russell's going to take out Cran. Vipers now with possession here in the corner on the Lions side of the field. Can they match the momentum the Lions provided in the last game? We'll have to see if they can do that. Cabin now with the 50-50 against Twiz, who's just been an aggressive powerhouse for the Lions. Seemed like something that they were missing to make sure they closed up the gaps on the back line and the defensive line. As Dyer and Cabin kind of have a slight double commit, but Cabin ultimately is the one to push forward with possession with some help from Dyer here in the corner.
Dyer unable to make anything of it, but does find a demo around Russell. Russell will now look for the shot of his own, is able to get it, and I believe that is wing number 1 for Artie.
Yes.
Alrighty, so the Vipers will lead coming into this first minute. Lions have their work cut out for them a little bit, but they definitely showed in that last game that they have an opportunity here And they're going to continue to create opportunities by using their mechanical prowess, I would say. I think a lot of these players on the Lions are particularly good at the mechanical side of the game. And you can see right here, an excellent shot from Cran will exhibit that kind of mechanical prowess, finding the early shot of the net.
And that is goal number 1, and that was another wing for you, my friend. And now off that kickoff, we have Cabin pushing forward, looking for an opportunity here. Can't quite get it around Mythical King, but Mythical King looking for the dunk down. It is going to be disrupted by Cabin. Now Twiz pushing this ball across the side of the field. Can't maintain that possession. Russell looking to dunk it down. Cran is going to ultimately take that one away. Gets popped high, crossing that midfield stripe. Dyer tries to find a clear. Mythical King, though, is going to disrupt that just a little bit. Cran now sending it over here to the corner. Twiz, just being that defensive powerhouse, immediately digs it right back out.
So far, the Lions are holding their line, even though the Vipers have pulled out ahead earlier in this game. And it's actually not another wing for me yet, because it's only the first goal of this game.
Oh, all right.
Apparently that's the rule. I didn't make it, but I will take what I can get in terms of that. Dyer, now having to take his own solo play off the ball, is bumped by the King. Cabin is going to get then bumped by Twiz. A lot of bumps on the sideline, turning into a whole pile up here. Oh, another bump. The ball has barely moved on its own for a little bit. Oh, 50-50. Cabin will end up winning the 50-50 out. Cran will try to force a little bit more time for his team. Dyer getting the pass out mid. No one's able to respond, so he has to take it himself. Cabin almost cuts his teammate off there for a second. Dyer gets the pass over one. Cran taps it out mid. Twiz is still in the way, and Cabin has to take a touch off the wall. The offense is just not quite there yet for the Vipers. Still circling the nest a little bit, trying to find a way in.
We've got Dyer now looking to pop this ball up to Russell, but it's disrupted by Twiz. Twiz here in the corner has pressure put on them immediately again by Dyer. Cran is going to push the ball forward, but immediately taken away by Cabin. Cabin shot on the goal will hit the crossbar. That steadfast fourth man. All 3 members of the Lions will pile up in front of that goal. Cabin looking for another opportunity. It's going to hit that backboard. Cran's just going to stall out and wait a little bit. Has 2 putting pressure on them, place it around everybody. Ball sails down, saved by Dyer at the last possible second, but Cran's not giving up just yet. Passing the ball to Mythical. Fortunately for them, though, Mythical couldn't find the touch. Cabin looking for an opportunity to find the shot on goal, but can't quite find the connection.
Cabin in the way. Oh, Dyer tries to get a touch out mid. Lions will force the offense a little bit longer. Cabin forces it mid to the Lions. Lions, oh, the save is barely there. Oh, he tops it up. Is there a teammate in the way? Dyer's in the way. Takes it down the field. He has a little bit of time to himself. Goes for the flip reset. Does not get it. However, he does play around 1. Cabin is in the way. Unable to get a great touch, so Dyer will get the tap up anyway. Dyer then taps it up again, but is lost out to Cran, who now going to take a shot at the net. Oh, it just goes wide, so Cabin will be forced to play it out.
Now we have Mythical putting pressure on Dyer. Chips in front of them, gets a touch on it, but Russell comes in to help out their fellow Viper teammate. 3 members of the Lions all kind of looked for an opportunity there. Twiz ultimately was the one to find the clear, and will back off to allow Cran to get the rest of that clear across the midfield stripe, who centers it up to Mythical. Unfortunately, Mythical is too far back, so Cabin, with help from Russell, will find a clear here. Cabin now pushing forward, has an opportunity to drive this ball into the net with no pressure on them. Finds goal number 2 for the Vipers with 49 seconds left on the clock.
And with the time winding down, the Vipers are looking at taking their first game of the series, putting us at a 1-1, and I believe putting us in a best of 3, but still lots of time for the Lions to turn this game around, and lots of time for this game to go to an overtime.
Dyer is looking to find a goal number 3 to make sure they are sitting with that security goal in their back pocket. Cabin now in front of their own goal is going to pop it up, has pressure being put on them. Twiz goes to elevate to go for the challenge. Cabin dunks it down around them. Cran out, rotating back, gets a touch on the ball, sending it to the side. Pressure immediately coming out from Cabin, though, is going to make this clear a little bit difficult if they don't get help. Mythical King comes in to help, but not before Twiz collides with Cran on that into that goal box.
A shot downfield from Cran. Oh, we could be looking at overtime. Only 11 seconds left on the clock, and we're at a 2-2 going into the last little bit of this game. We'll have to see which team pulls it out. Very spearheaded right now. Impossible to say who would come out on top, but now Cabin has to relocate around and maybe look for an opportunity, but is ultimately Dyer will save him. And Cabin now looks at the touch out mid, is unable to get it, so Russell will hit it downfield. It's up. He's still up. He's trying to go for it. Oh, is unable to get there. Very nearly a goal-scoring opportunity from the waterfall down in front of the net.
And now we are in overtime golden goal situation, and I failed to mention it earlier, this is a best of 7 series, so no matter how this one turns out, even if it's in the Lions' favor, it could still go either way.
A bump on the Cabin. ultimately won't create anything for Cran, as he is able to play it around 2 defenders at least. Cabin will be able to get the clear out, though. It's only to Twiz. Nothing really able to happen there quite yet, so Dyer is able to take it downfield, look for the dribble, pass 1, pass 2. Cran is able to get in the way. Twiz looks for the pass out mid, is unable to get it, and then Cran gets the touch. It's popped out. Vipers have a little bit more time, unable to do anything quite with it yet, and now Cran has an opportunity to shoot for himself.
And just so everyone who's watching is aware, the Lions are attempting to do something that's never been done before, and so far they're pulling it off, and that is trying to close an entire season without losing a single game, and that's not been done since, well, trying to do something that hasn't been done since 2021, and that's not lose a single game. So let's see if they're able to do that. So far they're doing okay, but I believe that's my punishment, or is that your punishment?
Which team won that again? Was it the Lions or the Vipers?
Pretty sure the Lions won that.
I'm pretty sure the Lions won. They were blue, yeah. Hey, Vipers, any time now. I get it. I get it. You know, I'm not always. I'm very to the point when I cast you guys a lot of the time, but any time now. Okay.
I mean, you're holding tried and true with these guys. I mean, props to you right now, Lions. You guys are looking very strong, and I'm gonna. Oh boy. I'm going to say it now, Lions, if you guys end up losing, I will eat the rest of the wings on this plate to myself, and I will eat my words and definitely take the heat from all of that. And right now, though, Cran, you're looking quite strong and forcing Tacky to eat another wing right away, scoring that first goal in 8 seconds. That explosive play style being very difficult to counter for the Vipers, though, as we mentioned earlier, best of 7 series, plenty of time for them to figure out what they need to do and find the mistakes that are made quite frequently by the Lions. Right now, ball is still kind of here at the midfield. Cran goes for the 50-50. Dyer's going to win out on that one. Pushing forward is Dyer now. Takes the shot, turned away by Twiz. Secondary follow-up from Cabin. Hits that awkward crossbar, makes the ricochet. No opportunity for it to roll into the net as Cran's going to push it to the midfield, where Dyer, ever so calculating, was waiting. Pushing the ball into the corner. Centers it up for a teammate, but that teammate goes up in smoke as Cran takes him out. Twiz now dunking the ball down. Finds goal number 2 for the Lions.
The Vipers are put into a really weird spot, and just as they are, I am as well.
Now ball is on the back corner of the Viper side of the field. Things are definitely heating up for Tacky. He is begging the Vipers to start swinging this back in his favor. Ball now on the back there to the line side of the field. Cabin's looking to center it up, takes a couple of touches, has to play it around King. They can't quite do it because Cran comes in to help out, who swoops by 2 members of the Vipers. Ball is back at the midfield. Dyer is waiting, but it goes right past them. Defense is able to reconsolidate just a little bit, but the ball crossing in front of their goal. One of those things we talked about earlier, Lions, not something you want to be doing as frequently because Russell will punish that ball at the midfield. Dyer goes for the challenge. They're going to go into 2 of the Lions members. Yet again, another double commit will happen. Ball still here on the Lions side of the field. Vipers trying to find that crack in the armor to get their opportunity to score a goal, but instead it's going to be volleyed across and sent into the back of the net. Lions find goal number 3.
3 goals now for the Lions, and if the Vipers don't turn something around right now, they could be looking at giving this series to the Lions, and additionally, giving up 2 more would be just the same amount of pain for me.
They will be the Lions will put themselves at match point if they win this game. They have to win 4 games, though, in order to close out the series. Can they do that all back-to-back? That's quite the task, considering they have been playing all afternoon. They're the only team that had to play a first game to qualify for semifinals, play the semifinals and the Grands, whereas the Vipers only had to play in the semifinals. That extra bit of energy could be the difference maker when we hit the back half of this series as a whole, regardless of how this game number 3 goes. Still have more than half this game left by 10 seconds. Of course, the Lions are still in the lead by 3.
Dyer will get a tap downfield, so now Cabin has to get an opportunity, maybe force an opportunity for his team, but ultimately Cran will make it past. Russell gets the tap out mid. Maybe an opportunity here for Cabin, but he's unable to get it as Twiz looks for a play off the wall. Dyer in the way again. Not quite able to turn anything out of the opportunity yet. Double commit will lead to a bump and an opportunity. The Lions running away with a 4th now. The Vipers need a change right now, otherwise this game is going to be at an end-all be, or the series as a whole is going to be an end-all be-all very quickly.
It's okay. Even if they go down 3 games, they can still bring it back in their favor. Right now, ball is on the back third of the Lions side of the field. Dyer's looking for an opportunity. They grab it off the dunk down from one of the Vipers players. Find goal number 1 for the Vipers.
a good start with 2 minutes left. They have plenty of time. We've seen greater comebacks before, but they have their work cut out for them. They need to make a change. Whatever happened with that last goal, it needs to happen with the next 2 goals as well.
Twiz takes a shot. It's going to be too high. They're there for their own follow-up. Again, too high. Dyer's in the exact same spot. Almost going to carry it down into the corner. Twiz waits. Tries to get a touch. Double whiff from 2 Lions members. Forces Cran at the midfield to try and make a play. Twiz will make a demo line. Cran to continue to push forward, but took too many touches. Russell's going to capitalize on that, forcing the ball into the back corner. Cran's going to try to corral it. Plays it in front of their own goal again. But they're going to be jumped over by Russell, who passes it to Cabin, who takes a shot on goal. And it squeaks by Twiz, allowing the Vipers to find goal number 2 with 93 seconds left on the clock.
The momentum is in their favor. They found another goal in only the next 27 seconds. At that rate, they'll be definitely on time for an overtime at least, maybe winning the game altogether. But they have to keep this offense up. They have to keep the Lions out of their own offensive end. Cabin will now try to force. Was almost able to get it. Almost able to outplay 2 different defenders, but ultimately thwarted by that dreaded 4th man. Russell now has to be in the way of Cran. He is able to get it. Looks for the pass out mid. Twiz will be in the way. And now Cabin has to go off the wall to try to get it, but ultimately has to leave it out from a bad bounce. Twiz takes the shot. Blocked by Cabin. Blocked again by Dyer. Unable to get out of their own end yet. Cabin is unable to get a good touch here. Could spell disaster. Russell gets the pass downfield anyway. With Kings in the way, Russell forces it again. And now Twiz has to keep pressure.
Twiz dunks the ball down, but unfortunately for them, Cran wasn't the one to make contact with the ball on the ground. It's going to be Dyer. Dyer has the opportunity to pass it to Russell. They do take out one of the defenders in the process as well. We've got 30 seconds left on this clock. Well, 40 seconds left. Plenty of time for the Vipers to find 2 goals, but they need to play perfect, clean passes here, and possibly, I would suggest, take out Twiz for a little bit. Twiz will elevate and collide with Dyer, the 50-50 still dropping down on the Lions side of the field. We're now at the 20-second mark. Cran's going to pop this ball up, play it over 1, but they can't play it around Dyer, who's going to leave it in the air. Twiz drops the ball down. Ball gets cleared by Russell. 12 seconds left on the clock. Shot on goal from Russell is a little bit too wide after a slight touch from one of the Lions members. Looks like as we hit this 3-second mark, this is going to be game number 3 in the favor of the Lions.
So it's a best of 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I
That's
had it
why
wrong.
I keep saying, you know, they can still bring it back.
No, they still have plenty of opportunities left. I think the main adjustments they need to make revolve a lot around the midfield. It feels like they kind of just get to their end, and they're like, okay, finally, we're towards the midfield. We're finally out of all this pressure on us, and they just, like, have no plan. They're just like, we got it out. Now what? And then by that time, Twiz or whoever is bumping it right back into their end.
I really think they just need to demo Twiz. Twiz is all over the place. Like, they're playing quite well into the play style that the Lions have brought to the table, that just absolutely explosive speed and aggression that they have been demonstrating since the first game of this evening to now has not diminished. If anything, it's just gotten stronger because they know that Twiz will be rotating back to the back post as soon as they take their their first, maybe the tertiary touch, if absolutely needed. But the overcommits that we saw previously from the Lions are definitely depreciating because Twiz has been thrown into the mix here. So we go into this next kickoff. It looks like it's going to be won by Dyer. He's going to play it off the wall to themselves, but unfortunately can't find that 3rd touch. Cabin will swoop in to help them out. Shot on goal. It's going to hit that crossbar. Follow-up from Cabin, and that is going to be the first wing in a while for Artie.
Thank goodness, because I was about ready to die.
And we do see now that we've got Twiz trying to get this ball into the midfield. I'm going to let you finish your last punishment wing before I eat this one. We've got Cabin now trying to get another opportunity. Dyer takes the shot, hits that crossbar. Cabin tries to take another shot. Unfortunately, the angle was just a little bit too far off. But the 3rd touch from Russell will actually find another goal for the Vipers. 2 in 30 seconds. Definitely a different story than what they were giving us earlier. I guess they finally decided to shake things up a bit.
The Vipers finally finding a pretty solid lead in this first couple minutes of the Game 4 here. And now, with a 2-0 lead, they have to kind of focus on making sure they still play that methodical gameplay, and they make sure that they're, like in this situation, they're taking the opportunities that are given to them without extending too far up. They're using only the right amount of players, not committing to anything that could be way too much for that kind of environment. They're making sure that they're well suited in their rotations. They're making sure that they're all communicating correctly. There's no double commits, and they're only giving up what they need to give up. A 3-0 lead is exactly what they need here to turn the series around.
ball is currently here on the Vipers side of the field. Cran looking for an opportunity. Oh my goodness. That one had a little heat. It's in the back corner. Twiz now is going to try to pass it back to Mythical, but it's going to be disrupted. Now, as the ball is on the back there, the Lion side of the field, we got Twiz trying to battle it out with Cabin. Cabin forcing the ball to go to Cran, who's going to have a quadruple commit, 2 from each side. Ball still here on the Lion side of the field. Ball's going to cross in front of the goal. Not the clear you want to make, because Cabin's going to take advantage of that. Vipers are now up by 4. Lions really hurting now.
A complete flip from the last game, and now the Vipers are posed to give Artie yet another wing and two wings in one game, but the game is not over yet. Lions still have a lot of left in their tank for their offensive end, and the Vipers just need to play solid rotations until then. Make sure that they're not giving any Lions any unnecessary opportunities and watching out for those demos. As teams tend to get desperate, they go for a lot more bumps and demos, so it's something you have to watch out for. So now, Russell looking for the play off the sidewall, maybe to a teammate. Goes for the solo play anyway. Does get bumped, but is able to get past one, so he continues the pressure. Cabin gets a good demo, so Russell has a little bit of time to himself. Cran is unable to make the touch. Oh, the shot barely missed. Dyer isn't there either. They have to, the Vipers have to completely relocate now. Dyer keeping the pressure, leaves it for Cabin. Cabin now can look for the shot, or Cran gets the save off the backboard. Now Dyer can slow play it to build time for his teammate, and Mythical King has to find a way past Dyer.
Dyer's going to look to dunk this ball down, but might collide with Twiz. Cabin's going to help him out and send it to the back corner. You mentioned demolitions earlier, and a player that's not afraid to do that is definitely Cran coming out for the Lions, but they got to be careful. One of the things that many esports tower players are guilty of is putting themselves out of rotation, trying to find those demos. It seems like the Vipers kind of just let them happen as opposed to seeking them out. And yet again, there's another demo. You just so happen to be in front of one of the Vipers members. Cran now has possession, will lose it though on an unfortunate whiff above the goal. Twiz looking to play it out of the corner here to a teammate. They have Mythical. Will Mythical be able to find it? They will not. Ball is now crossing that midfield stripe. Cran rotates back very quickly to send the ball over to the wall, centering it up to themselves. Dyer gets in that passing lane. Twiz is there to help them out. Ball will be sent over to the other side. Cran looking for an opportunity, sends the ball off the back wall, goes for a secondary touch. It cannot be stopped, and the Lions find goal number 1 for themselves, and Artie is safe for a little bit longer.
The Lions break out of the lockdown for just a little bit here. We'll have to see how the Vipers respond, if they have to make any adjustments. So far, Cran looking for an opportunity. Dyer is unable to make a touch. It could be a good shot here. Cabin is shot underneath, but Russell is able to stop it. Twiz looks for a slow down play. Oh, Dyer's off the back. Oh, he's unable to do. Oh, no, he gets in the way barely, even though he got bumped. Cabin now has all the time in the world to take it off the wall. Does he go under? No, he goes for the 50-50. Is beaten by Cran. Russell can play it off the backboard now, look for a teammate. Goes for the 50-50 again. Maybe goes for the top up here. Is unable to get anything more, so just lets it fall down. Leaves it for Dyer. Now, Dyer will push upfield and try to play it around Cran. Find an opportunity here. Oh, here could be an opportunity. Cabin barely blocked at the last moment. Russell gets a touch out. Cran is able to get in the way just barely. And Mythical King is looking to make the play for offense again now.
Dyer and Cabin work together to get this ball across the midfield stripe. Cran's going to elevate, pop the ball up. Dyer sends it to the back wall. They are going to be there for their own follow-up touch, but Twiz takes it away very quickly. Ball gets dug down at the midfield, volleyed over to the opposite side. Dyer goes for a touch, shot on goal, just a little bit too wide. Is there a follow-up? There is not, as King takes that one away yet again. Cran goes for the return volley onto the other side of the field, turned away off the backboard to the opposite side as the demolition comes out. Russell now playing it over 1 into the corner. Looks to dunk it down to a teammate. They do, and that is goal number 5 for the Vipers.
Artie will take her next swing, and now the Vipers are put in a position where, at this point, like, it's possible the Lions could come back. But if I were the Lions in this situation, I'm already thinking about the next game. I'm thinking about the adjustments you need to make, what happened in this game, that it was a complete flip around. So, overall, it might be a little bit more in your head in these last couple 30 seconds. You're thinking about, okay, how do we reset? How do we continue the momentum we had before and close out this series? But definitely the Vipers are showing that they have come to play, and they're not ready to give up this series yet. But overall, the Vipers taking away this game, I believe, takes away that very faded opportunity that the Lions were going to have at almost a no-loss kind of series win.
Yeah, I mean, going a full 7 series, which in theory being a sweep would be a 4-0, difficult. But Vipers ended up pulling ahead on that one. I have to eat another punishment wing. I'm almost caught up to you, so it looks like they were definitely hearing you out and trying to end your suffering.
Oh, definitely. I'm glad that we've come to a little bit more of a balance on that, because I was
I'm going to let you take it away from here while I begin my suffering, because now they're starting to pick up and heat a little bit.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, a big part of what comes into closing out these series is a lot of just like relaxing and making sure that you're thinking about what's going on. If you lose a game, because when you have extra lives to begin with, like the Lions have a ton of extra lives, just make sure you're taking it with stride. You're not feeling the pressure of, oh my gosh, what if they sweep us back, right? Don't think about that. Just think, okay, let's make the adjustments, go back to what was working, focus on what we can do to punish those mistakes and what we can do to create opportunities, and then move from there. And so far, the Lions have a little bit of the pressure on their end as they're able to keep possession here after Cran is able to beat out Dyer and an extra defender. He does get bumped off the ball, so Russell does get a play off the ball for a little bit. Dyer will be in the way, but is unable to make contact, so Twiz will get the pop up. Cabin will attempt the shot, but is unable to get it. Russell goes for the touch off the wall, is unable to do anything more with it as Cran will look for the clear out. Cabin gets the touch, almost gets the play. Oh, is unable to get it, so now Dyer is up to make a last-ditch effort save, passes it down the Mythical King. Is unable to do anything with that really either, and now the pressure is all on the Vipers to hold the line.
We have Cabin dunk the ball down, just barely missing their teammate of Russell. Twiz is going to push forward now with possession, having juked out Cabin. Looks for the first shot on goal. Russell takes that one away. Cran goes for the challenge against Russell off the backboard. Russell has centered it up for Dyer. Dyer takes the shot. Cran makes the save, sending it to the side, and Taggy is very sad about that. Now we've got Cran looking to push forward. They have pressure being put on them from Cabin and Dyer. Dyer goes to take the shot, dragging it down, taking a few too many touches, and Twiz, being that defensive powerhouse, is managing to maintain possession here on their own back third.
Cabin unable to get the shots, and now Russell has to play third man for a little bit. Mythical King gets past one. Cabin is able to keep the pressure now, however, it plays it past one, is unable to play it past the second. Cabin now looking for the 50-50, is almost able to get it, passes it out to Russell, who is beaten by Cran, so now Dyer has to be in the way, buy some time for his teammate, maybe look for a play around Twiz. Is continuing to keep possession, trying not to give away too much, but ultimately does have to give away the ball after Twiz challenges. Double commit a little bit by the Vipers here. Could be a bad situation, but ultimately the Mythical King will push it back to his own end.
Mythical King now has to challenge Cabin. Cabin forces Mythical King to send the ball to the side. Cran's going to take out one, but that does mean their goal is just got one in it. Mythical has respawned. Now we've got Russell leaving the ball for, I believe that's Dyer. Dyer's going to take it away from Cran after they took too many touches at that midfield. Dyer now looking to center it up for a teammate. That opportunity is going to be taken away. Shot on goal from Russell's going to go in. Tacky is celebrating. I am going to be... Now, with this one, we are officially caught up as far as the wings go.
The Vipers showing they came here to play and are here to make the Lions sweat. Definitely working at the offensive end again for a little bit longer as Dyer and Cabin... almost an opportunity for the Lions there. A little bit of double commit miscommunication almost led to another goal in favor of the Vipers, however, or in favor of the Lions. However, it is eventually thwarted by Dyer's defense. Oh, a shot down the middle, a bad 50-50 will result in an even scoreline now for the Lions and the Vipers.
We are now crossing into the last half of this game. I believe this is number 5. Yes, I can do math sometimes. Can the Vipers find another goal for themselves? Yes, they will. That's goal number 2. I don't have to eat a wing just yet. If they score 4 more, I'm going to have to eat another one. And if they win this one, I have to eat another one, which will then...
They have to score 3 more.
Yes, okay. Yeah. We'll have to see if they can score 3 more and make Tacky very happy. Right now, it's looking like they're getting awfully gosh darn close. Cabin now looking to center it off of this corner. Collides with a couple. Twiz finds the clear. Dyer, though, stops it from happening. Collision results in a demo. Not sure in the poof of smoke who managed to survive. I think it actually was one of the Lions members. Now Cran pushing forward, has to play it around 2. Cabin has an awkward collision with them past all of the defenders. Cran finds goal number 2 for the Lions, and we are tied at the It's Complicated 0-0, but it's to a side.
That Vipers offense still remaining scary, but the adjustment from the Lions is definitely in the way. They are definitely keeping the Vipers at bay from running away with this game again, but the 50-50 at the midfield will kind of put us in a weird situation where now Russell has to find the save, ultimately leaves it for Cabin. So wasted boost for sure. Twiz can look for a play, but is ultimately not going to make contact. Cabin passes downfield, looks for a touch off the backboard, gets another touch off the backboard. No offender there to get in the way. Dyer has to go for the slow play here, has to back up just to get the right angle. Looks for the pop-up back to himself, is unable to do anything really more with that. Is able to get past one, though, and the 50-50 almost goes in favor. A bad play almost led to another opportunity. Twiz looking for a pass back to his own teammate, is unable to get a good shot. The fourth man is in the way again. The opportunity is definitely there. Pressure is still on the Vipers. Dyer looks for a way out. Russell finds it instead, and now Cabin rotates back to allow his teammates to move up. And now, all on the Lions to play defense.
We've got less than a minute left. Cabin takes the shot off the back wall. There isn't follow-up. Vipers sticking to their tried and true slow and methodical play style. Already rotated back into defensive positions. Dyer stops the shot from Twiz from even entering that goal arch for themselves. Two members double commit on this opportunity from the Lions, though, might open up the field just a bit for the Vipers to get it clear. Cabin will elevate, collides with Cran. Ball's going to drop down to Mythical King, and it does look like they will not be able to follow it up as Dyer is going to elevate with this ball. Cran goes for the challenge in mid-flight, forcing the dunk down off the back wall, though. Cabin comes swooping in, finding goal number 3 for the Vipers. 23 seconds on the clock. Vipers are currently up by 1. Lions have to start clawing their way back. The security goal is not there, though, for the Vipers. We might see a buzzer beater and lead us into overtime.
Vipers are making the Lions play on the back foot. They seem to have the Lions kind of timed up now, but there's still time for the Lions to turn this around. Dyer is definitely going to take the opportunity to extend the lead. Almost finds the 50-50, but is unable to do anything more with it. Cran goes for the 50-50 as well, is unable to find it. The clock rolls down to 0. We have to keep it in the air, otherwise the game will go in favor of the Vipers. A great tap out. Dyer able to be in the way. Doesn't oh, he does drop it. Russell does drop it. And the game will go in the favor of the Vipers, making it a 3-2 series overall.
And right now, I am now ahead of Taki as far as wings go. So my spice level has increased just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit, yeah. You'll have to let me know how bad that one is, because I'm sure I'm getting the 6th one eventually, right?
Oh, you don't want to take my advice. I mean, I am the one who chugged a, giant amount of hot sauce after I lost my last bet here on stage. So this is a little spicy, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, too. Anyway, so that game was also a very close game. I think we saw a lot of good adjustments from the Lions. They found a way to break through into that offense without giving out too much on the Vipers' ends of things. But if the games continue to play out like this, it's going to be really tight. There's going to be a lot of these spicy nuggets that we eat. Dyer will look for the play off in midfield. Twiz is able to get a touch instead. And now the pressure is on the Lions again, but Twiz is able to clear it out mostly. As far as we go, Dyer is able to get the pass out mid. Cabin, unable to make a touch. Out to Russell. They will roll downfield for a little bit. Cran, able to get a good touch. Russell gets the pass out mid, unable to do anything more. It will ricochet off of him and towards the Vipers' end, but they will keep pressure for the time being. Dyer is up to keep pressure on the Lions. Almost able to find a shot to the back of the net there as Cran will slow play it to the wall. Now take it past 1.
Can Cran play it around Russell? They cannot. The elevation from Russell was just a little bit more calculated. Ball in the back third of the Lions side of the field. Twiz finds the clear. Dyer's going to push it to the side. Twiz looking for another opportunity, but unfortunately Cabin pushes Mythical out of the way. We now have Cran pushing forward, looking for an opportunity, plays it around Russell, has Twiz behind them for the follow-up. Dyer clears it. Mythical has an opportunity to take another shot, but can't find the angle in time. Dyer now on the back third of the line side of the field, looking for the first goal, but Twiz is going to go for the demo, shutting down some hopes here for the Vipers to find the first goal here as we're crossing across that 1 minute and 15-second mark. Nothing has been found just yet. Cabin plays it in front of their own goal. Not something that we want to be seeing here, but they do not get punished. Now dragging this ball down, looking to solo it. Can't quite do it, though, as Twiz disrupts them.
A good block will keep the scoreline at 0-0 coming into the last 3 minutes of this game. Dyer will be in the way to try to keep pressure a little bit longer. A double commit could be disastrous here, but Dyer is able to keep the play on the end of the Lions defense. So now Russell can look for a pass out mid. Tries to get it around Twiz. Is unable to get it past Twiz, so Twiz passes out to Cran, who gets a good touch. Now Cabin hits against the wall. This could be a bad situation. Oh, a pass out mid from Dyer. Definitely dangerous. What if there was a defender there? And now they're in a bad spot as Cran takes a shot towards the backboard. Ultimately thrown away by Dyer. The defense holding strong so far. Cabin will get a touch off the sidewall as well. Able to keep pressure. A demo could be a good opportunity here for as well. Twiz takes the shot. Dyer is unable to get out of the way.
Dyer finds a second save there off Cran's shot. Cabin now pushing forward, looking to play it around a couple. Pushes the ball a little too far at the forward, though, so Twiz is able to find a clear. Not quite out of their own side of the field just yet. Twiz collides with Cabin for the 50-50. Russell will elevate, pushing the ball towards the midfield yet again. It's going to cross into the back third. Cran now looking to play it around Dyer. Dyer, though, playing ever so calculated, just grabs it right off the ground with ease. You guys going to pop it up and lose possession for a few moments because of Twiz ball alive here at the midfield, where Cabin pushes it up in the air, hits off the back wall. Dyer goes for the second touch. It hits the crossbar and saves by Taste Buds for a few more moments. Cabin pushing forward, looking for another opportunity, and it rolls in. All right, nicely done, Cabin.
Whew, I am being rewarded for having this much faith in the Vipers. I would never doubt you guys again so far. But keep it up. You guys have done a really good job. Oh, and another one. Good job, Vipers, fighting the back of the net once again. Doing a really good job of keeping the pressure on the Lions, forcing them to respond to you. Doing a really good job of making sure those rotations are working out. And now Cran is forced to find a way to respond, but is unable to get a good touch off the wall, so Dyer will get a good touch instead. Russell unable to make contact, so Cabin has to force the 50-50, is able to get it, but not for too long, as Twiz is in the way, leaves it for the Mythical King. Russell tries to demo, is unable to make that happen either. Dyer passes towards the wall, it's up off the back end, Dyer is up, gets the touch, out to Cabin. Cabin can look for the shot here. Blocked by the Lions defense, and now the most rotate back. Dyer almost able to take a shot of his own. Cran trying to keep the pressure and trying to convert, trying to find a way back into this game so they don't go to a game 7. Russell passes it out mid, is unable to get it any further than that as Mythical King is in the way. Cabin blocks, is able to keep it on their end for a little bit longer. Oh, Cran will get the dunk off of Cabin to force it downfield to change the momentum entirely.
Ooh, Dyer, though, gets a slight touch, taking out one of the defenders. Russell pushing forward, shot on goal, completely open net. Vipers find goal number 3. There's a minute and 8 seconds left on the clock. Lions, what's happening right now?
This slow, methodical gameplay from the Vipers is just slowly breaking down the Lions. If they can't find their first 5 goals that they need to establish their positive lead, it feels like the Lions are having a very difficult time keeping up with these amazing rotations all around. Twiz with an excellent shot to put them in an opportune situation to turn this game around.
Twiz has definitely slid into this mold quite nicely. It's like they were the missing piece just for a little bit for that defensive side. I mean, 3 goals. There's been a lot of shots on goal in total, so doing a great job on defense right now, the Lions, in comparison to what we saw earlier this evening. But can they bring this one back? They've got 45 seconds to find 2 more goals. Right now, Twiz pops the ball up. Ball not finding a forward momentum, though. 3 members of the Vipers, all of them kind of bunched up. Cran's going to try and capitalize on that, pushing forward. Pops it up over 1. Is there a follow-up? There's not, because Russell's going to take it away.
Mythical King looking to pass out to a teammate here. Cabin will be in the way and stop that momentum entirely. Cabin now looks for the pass up mid. Cran will stall and push it out. And now Dyer has to get in the way of Twiz. He does get the redirect. Does it go in? Oh, barely out. Almost an incredible shot and work together by Vipers, but very well saved by the Lions. Will keep them in this game for a little bit longer. 8 seconds left. That will spell disaster for the end of this game for the Lions. However, they still have one more opportunity left in the form of a legendary Game 7 in the Grand Finals.
I think if you're the Vipers, you want them to just dunk this ball on the ground. Stop trying to go for the extra goal. I mean, they do have the security, so it doesn't matter if it happens or not. But with that, ball hits the ground, and I am now eating, I believe I'm at Mango Habanero, which is our 3rd spiciest, followed by then the Wild, and then the 10, which is also the Blazing, the Carolina Reaper. So I am at Mango Habanero. I should be okay with this one. After this, we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to let you take it from here while I take on my own challenge.
Yeah, it feels like right now that the Vipers have definitely timed up to the Lions' offense. They found a way to keep it down and keep it just shoved a little bit enough in a box that they're able to buy enough time with their rotations. I think the big thing that the Vipers have going for them is their quality of rotations and their ability to stay off of each other's areas. They're making sure that they're working together properly and they're not in each other's way constantly and not making these really weird passes across their net. And it's really impressive, clean Rocket League. But overall, it's not something the Lions can't break out of. We've seen them use their insane mechanics more than once to break down defenses in a very clinical style. But overall, they have to have a super, super good adjustment in order to turn this around because right now, all the momentum is in favor of the Vipers.
Keep hyping your team up. Keep going.
Keep going? Keep hyping up the Vipers?
Yeah.
Because according to the rules, I think I still have an opportunity to switch. I'm not going to. Let's go Vipers. Russell will take another shot off the wall. Passes out to Dyer. Dyer gets a good touch. It's a little bit of slow play so far. Cabin will get a good touch. And just, not able to make contact for Cran. Clear's not quite there yet. Twiz slowing down the play. Maybe the Lions are trying to slow down the play to play a little bit more at Viper's speed, making sure that they're playing only to the advantages and not trying to break something down that they don't need to. Russell is in the way of Cran. unable to get it. Cran will look for the shot instead, unable to get it as well, and Twiz will make me my first spicy chicken nugget in a minute.
He is just now hitting, I believe that is just the Buffalo.
Oh.
So a little bit of ways to catch up. We'll see how that goes. Right now, ball getting dunked down here by the Vipers. It's on their back third. Will Twiz be able to find goal number 2 for the Lions? No, Dyer's going to clear it out. Looks like the respawns have happened finally for the Vipers. Cran, though, maintaining possession here at the mid, pushing forward, has all 3 members of the Vipers in front of them, and unfortunately that's difficult to surpass. A whip from Mythical, though, not capitalized on immediately. Twiz dunks the ball down in front of the goal. Russell with possession has Cran getting ready to put pressure on them, chips it away. Cabin is there. Cabin looking for the clear now. Has to play it around Cran, who's already pushed back all the way over. Holy cow, what a fast player. Now ball off the back wall. Twiz cannot find the connecting touch.
Cabin looking for a pass out mid here, but no one's quite there yet. Now the Lions have a little bit of time to themselves. Cabin will try to force them to do something, however. Dyer will be able to take it off the wall with Twiz. Twiz will barely not beat him, though, making a whiff in a dire situation, but Cran will be able to make up for it by finding his own pass mid. A little bit high. Twiz won't be able to do anything with it quite yet. Russell looking for the pass mid. Oh, gets it under 1. Cran is able to pop it past the next, however.
Cran slows down, taking too many touches, allows Dyer to chip the ball in. Shot on goal, turned away. Cabin at the midfield, though, pops it up for Russell to take another shot. With that, the Vipers find their first goal. Almost full 2 minutes off the clock have elapsed, and we are tied 1 aside in this very exciting Game 7.
Vipers in a really good spot now, as they have the pressure once again, but the Lions are really looking to push their offensive pressure just a little bit further down into the Vipers' end. Lions starting this game off with their first goal. A weird touch there, barely not in. Twiz will find an amazing save. Mythical King looks for a great touch out. Is unable to quite get a perfect touch there, so Cran will have to go all the way up to the ceiling to get the clear out. Mythical King stalls for a little bit longer, maybe tries to pass back to his teammate. He's able to succeed with that venture. Twiz will hit it downfield. Cabin has to clear across. A good bump onto the defender could spell disaster. Instead, Dyer is able to clear it out just a little bit further past 1. Twiz hits it back off the wall. No one able to respond yet, so Russell will snipe it downfield.
Ball in the corner here. Dyer passes to Russell. Unfortunately, it went just over Russell's hood. Now Mythical looking for an opportunity to take a shot on goal. Can't quite find it as there's just too much pressure being put on them from Dyer. Off the drop down from the ceiling, Cabin with possession looks to pass it forward to Dyer, but it looks like they're just being a little too slow. Dyer elevates, whiffs the touch on the ball. Cran now looking to play it over Cabin. Cabin's going to push too far forward towards their own goal, so that it leaves very little pressure on Cran. Pass back, though, disrupted by Russell, who's going to dunk it down into a completely open net. Vipers now up by 1, minute 44 on the clock.
Time is in the favor of the Vipers, but this series is far from over yet. Lions need to score goals, but that is what they're absolutely the best at. Vipers just need to continue to use those positive rotations to find the chinks in the armor and not give up too much space quite yet. Mythical King has space. He'll use it by hitting it against the wall. Dyer will cut in and take that plan away from him immediately. Twiz gets the tap up. He's unable to get it past anyone else as Dyer is able to be in the way. Mythical King hits it back towards his teammate Cran, who will get a boomer downfield. Cabin or Dyer has to respond. Instead, it's Russell. All 3 defenders kind of looking for that ball a little bit. Cabin gets the touchdown field. Oh, and an opportunity almost found there for the Vipers again.
Mythical tries to get a touch, but unfortunately can't find it. Dyer pushes it forward. It's going to go off that back wall, but before it can make contact, Twiz corrals it just for a few moments. Dyer was ready for it, though. Pushing the ball back towards the midfield for a slight reset. Russell now has possession, plays it in off that backboard. Mythical King elevates, can't touch it though. Twiz, being the saving grace yet again, gets another touch, but the ball is sent back towards the goal by Russell. Vipers now have the security goal as well. They're up by 2, 48 seconds on the clock. The Lions are hurting.
Lions, you still have plenty of time. 46 seconds is more than enough. A good demo might defuse the whole situation. Oh, an opportunity squandered by Dyer, but definitely they're still ahead. All they have to do is play solid defense, stop Cran before he's able to do anything more. A double commit could be bad news. Russell, unable to get a good touch, ends up leaving it for Dyer, who takes the long shot downfield, is unable to find the back of the net. Now Twiz has to make a play down the field.
23 seconds left on the clock. Cabin centers the ball up. Mythical cannot get a forward push on it. Instead, just dunks it down, allowing Dyer to capitalize on that. Cran, though, does some fancy footwork, playing around 2. Unfortunate touch, though, forces them to pass the ball back, and they push too far back. against their own teammates. Ball is on their back, third shot on goal. That's goal number 4 for the Vipers with 4 seconds left on the clock. I am literally seconds away from having to eat 2 wings back to back, going to the Wild and then the Blazing. Whiff off the kickoff though. Twiz, you might be my saving grace. Dyer though, pushing forward, no time on the clock. No defenders, that's goal number 5. No time on the clock. Vipers close out in an absolutely amazing reverse sweep. And because they scored 5 goals, that is 2 nut wings for me, and that is all that is left on my plate.
Well, technically, you'd be 3 because you're at 5, and then you lost the game, and then you lost the match, right?
Oh, McNuggets. Okay, I'll eat your Wild as your Blazing as
you
well.
don't have to do that.
I'm fine with it. I'm a human of my word.
All right.
There's rules. I'm following them.
Well, ultimately, the Vipers put on an amazing show altogether. I have to hand it to them. They had me on the ropes for a second there, but gosh, they just turned it around. They used that methodical playstyle to their advantage and just absolutely dismantled this Lions defense by the end of the day.
I'm going to say this. Holy crud, y'all have one heck of a strong cheerleader on the desk for you right now, because after game number 2, I might have swapped. No offense, but I mean, if I were in your shoes at that point, I'd only had my second wing. You, my friend, are steadfast in your support of a team that you pick. Congratulations. You deserve this victory. Vipers, you guys absolutely deserve it. Lions, you guys fought extremely hard as well. Congratulations on going so far undefeated. You guys just have more to show us in the coming spring. But, you know, for now, that's the end of the Spring Rumble. Congratulations, Vipers.
And if you want to get better and get as good as this Vipers team and the Lions team, truth be told, be sure to head over to Esports Towers, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance using the resources of, you know, something as big as Esports Towers, getting great coaching and insights, industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles. The
Esports Tower Club members get insider access to industry insights with these featured Rumbles, and recruiters are taking notice of these events as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. All right, I'm going to let you throw out as many names as you want for the ICCU player of the game while I finish this one and finish the next one. I'll just list mine off real quick. Those are Toke, Dyer, and Esponda. Those are my 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dyer and Esponda are definitely up there. I think if I had to pick 3, I would probably say Dez, Toke, and Dyer are probably my go-to. Esponda is really close, but I think Dez really showed up today in those first 2 series. He was kind of all over the place. He had 2 incredible flip resets and then a double tap to line it up too. He was a very flashy player, very fun to watch. But overall, honestly, I couldn't be surprised if Esponda goes all the way to player of the game today. We'll have to see what broadcast has set up for us.
You guys are just watching.
Until then, we can continue to watch Artie down the last of the spicy swings that she probably agreed.
Cran looking for an opportunity to find another goal for the Lions.
Cran
will elevate to get it past Dyer.
Looks like
great.
Yep, Cran is going to be our ICCU player of the game.
Hey, yo, for once, one of my 3 guesses was right. Holy McNuggets, my mouth is on fire right now. The ICCU player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Cran is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game.
Cran showed up in a major way for his team today, led them all the way to the grand finals. An excellent display from that player. All around a good player, great rotations, great shot putting. Definitely deserving the ICCU player of the game.
And as we prepare to close out our final Spring Rumble, do you have any big takeaways?
My biggest takeaway for today is stick with your team. But no, I think overall, something that really showed up for these teams this grand finals was rotations. Focusing on rotations, communicating, big deals. They worked out in a major way for this grand finals victory for the Vipers. And honestly, I'm super impressed to see where the rest of these teams go by the time we get to this summer.
All right, well, congratulations to all of our teams, and thank you for an exciting end to our spring season. The Vipers claim the final title for the spring with a reverse sweep in the grand finals. Make sure to join us in 2 weeks. We do get a slight break for the kickoff of our Summer Rocket League Series Rumble. The action all starts heating up, hopefully more than has been heating up for me right now. So you don't want to miss it next week, in 2 weeks on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll close out with the top 5 plays of the game presented today by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your incredible thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs offering $20,000 in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Be sure to reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. From all of us here at Boise State and from Esports Tower, enjoy these 2 weeks. Enjoy your summer vacation. Thank you so much for a fabulous final Rocket League Spring Rumble. My mouth is on fire. It hurts to talk. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.
Cran will relieve pressure for a little while longer. TG is going to go for the pass out. Is unable to get it to a teammate, so Dez will cut in anyway. Dez looks for the touch, up to himself, gets the shot. Oh, an amazing redirected tap to himself off the sidewall. Finds the last opportunity.
Long Dyer to get possession. Can they play it around state? They cannot.
Quiz will beat around one. Russell gets the pass out. Quiz is in the way. Dyer has to make the play here, or Quiz will make the touch. Oh my gosh, there could be a pass. No one there. Oh, an opportunity just barely thrown in a bad 50-50 will find the back of the net.
And Mark.
Sketch almost finds an open net here, but Dez will be in the way. Oh, a bad touch. Could lead to an opportunity, but Physical King is able to keep pressure off of them for the time being. Cran and Dez coming out of nowhere to cut off their own teammate. What in the world happened there? An opportunity could form here. Oh, and it is, and I can't blame the swerve for taking it slow.
Elevate collides with Cran. Ball's going to drop down to Mythical King, and it does look like they will not be able to follow it up as Dyer is going to elevate with this ball. Cran goes for the challenge in mid-flight, forcing the dunk down off the back wall, though. Cabin comes swooping in, finding goal number 3 for the Vipers. 23 seconds on the clock. Vipers are currently up by 1. Here does get a touch on the ball. Ball is at the midfield. Cran pops it up over Sketch. Can they get it around Toge? Toge gets a touch. Dez is there for the follow-up. Sketch passes it back to Toge. Toge wasn't ready for it, though, so Dez yet again has an opportunity to play it off the back wall to themselves. Cran's going to come in to try and find the secondary touch. Ball is going to slowly sail into the net in that top right.